Hello and welcome out to this week's episode of Gamers Council. I'm one of your hosts, WebDave, along with my co-host, RHETRI. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, WebDave? Just happy to be here. What a joyous occasion. This has been a really good week for me and for Xbox Nation, Team Green in general. And we got some great guests. So
we do.
I'm super excited.
We do. First thing I want to point out before we get to our guest, which I know they're right there in the chamber. Oh, man. He's getting ready to get to me. I do want to welcome in. We have two new members that subscribe to us. So to our channel, Isaac Gentry and Lofty. All right, thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys signing up for that. And we have with us the one and only Doomcutie. Doom, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really well. How are you?
Awesome. And then we have OBM, One Bad Mother. What's up, sir?
Hey, what's up, guys? Like I was saying beforehand, this is going to be the only show I'm going to be able to appear on for the next week and a half as I'm heading out of town. So, but what a day I picked too. Like, there's nothing going on for us to talk about, is there?
Hey, nothing at all.
Nothing going on.
Not at all. So he's making his
world premiere.
That's right. Special.
Oh my god, is that new? That must be new.
Yeah, it is.
I had all kinds of stuff.
Oh man!
Wow,
I'm crazy like that. Oh goodness! And just to let everybody know, and he will be here soon. Post up. He is on his way. He's driving at the moment, so he will be here soon. Also, welcome out to all the people in the chat already. It's man, we got over 24 in chat so far, and I'm sure they'll start piling in. It may be a little later before a lot of people pile in. The last time I checked a few minutes ago, Iron Lords was still going on.
Still going.
Yeah. And Fawn still
Tell us
has
in the chat if they're still going right
show.
now. I'm curious. They were going like 10 minutes ago when I looked, but holy moly.
But don't worry, we're gonna be here.
That's crazy town.
We have lots to talk about, lots of things to go through. And look, K Sante's in the chat. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, K Sante?
I love it. I love it. All right, RHETRI, take it over.
Yeah, so we'll ask the usual questions, guys. We always start with the softball, and that is, what games are you playing? Or any new TV shows or movies that you're watching, anything that's piquing your interest. We'll start with you, Doomcutie. What are you playing? Besides Fortnite with me. Thank you very much.
You know what? That was actually really fun, and I'd love to do
that
it
was
again.
fun. We'll definitely do it again.
Oh my gosh, I'm the grind to 100 is real in Diablo 4. I am. I am in the trenches. I'm having a lot of fun. I've been trying to like mix it up by trying to play with like different people as well. So yeah, but that's definitely had a hold on me. I did have a look through some Game Pass games last night, but nothing really took my fancy. I have been tempted to go back to GTA, just simply because I saw it on Game Pass. But the most progress I've made is actually on my PCs. So, and it's not cross-play, so it's kind of deterring me from actually going ahead and playing it. In regards to TVs or movies, I'm hoping to see the Barbie movie. I know, so cringe, right? But
my girlfriend just told me she's going out with friends to see that. I guess that's a thing right now.
Yeah,
I know my wife probably wants to see it, so it's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Can I just say on a different kind of level, about the Barbie movie? Not only is it going to be very pink and Margot Robbie and just cringe all over, the marketing for this we could really take a leaf out of their book, I think, because not only did people knew about this movie so much even a month before it came out, and there was a lot of opportunity for what they call UGC, so user generated content. So do you remember people were posting like selfies of themselves with the Barbie logo behind their head and stuff like that? Like that was everywhere. So like the brand awareness behind the movie was already being like put out there organically by people. So it's like they were actually really smart about this. Plus they've been doing like the world tour. Like they've and oh my god, the wardrobe budget. I want to know how much that is, because honestly, it's absolutely stellar, fantastic. So that's my movie. TV show I've been, and this is very, very different. This is going to be probably an indicator why I call myself Doomcutie. I've been watching Yellowstone as well. So I'm just,
nice, love it.
That. Love that
and
show.
there is like 2-3 deaths a show, like animals, people.
It's like The Sopranos for the Wild Wild West. That's what I find. It's like people are dying left and right.
So yeah, I really, really have been enjoying that. I started all the way at the beginning, so I've got up to the middle of the second season now. So yeah, I'll be continuing. Yes, I did. But I'm very, very happy with it so far. So yeah, that's about me for all of that.
Nice. Good choices. Good choices. OBM. How about you, sir? What have you been playing in any movies or TV shows that have piqued your interest lately?
Yeah, usually I'm doing more gaming than watching TV or movies. Although me and my girlfriend have been watching Succession for the first time, and actually we're almost done with it. So we're getting a few more episodes of that. And other than that, it's been backlog time, because I know once September hits and Starfield releases and Cyberpunk reboots, and actually even going before that, Baldur's Gate 3 looks really good, so I'll be getting that on PC next month. So starting with that, I don't think I'm going to have the backlog. I'm probably just going to have to wave goodbye to every game that's in there that I haven't got to. So I'm trying to prioritize and go through some things. I beat Wasteland 3. I am redoing the Alan Wake, because that's coming out this year too. So I want to just kind of get refreshed on that and do some of the DLC. And then obviously people who know me know I'm always on Halo. So if any of you guys are still out there playing Halo and you need somebody to ever team up with, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be there.
Nice. RHETRI, what are you watching? What are you playing? What are you doing?
For me, the answer for the games is always Fortnite, and then just like whatever else. So I'm obviously playing Fortnite with the community as usual, and I've been playing Fist, the Metroidvania game, which I've actually really am starting to enjoy it. It's got really great like progression and a much deeper, I guess, like fighting mechanics than I thought it was going to have. Like there's a lot of really good upgrades in that game, so it makes it fresh, makes it interesting as you go along. So that's what I've been playing. I'd like to play Bramble, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time for that one as well. That was like the folklore one.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
I think it was Irish folklore. I can't remember exactly which region it was, but yeah. So that's what I've been playing, of course, and Diablo. I've been playing Diablo, not as much. I got to get back into Diablo and have some people carry me so I can get some good gear.
What level are you?
Galveston. I'm like 60 something.
Okay,
but I want better gear. I'm getting greedy. Like I don't feel it. I want a wand. I keep getting staffs, and I need a good wand. So I need someone. One of my buddies in the community to bring me into the nightmare dungeons, and I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and pick up all the good stuff as they fight for me, which is what happened last time.
That's a vibe.
Lazy.
You have to, Dave. When someone's like 20 levels above you, you're not gonna kill anyone in that dungeon. So if you even bother trying to fight, you're gonna die like 1,000 times.
Yeah, you just you just look at enemies and they kill you.
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
10, 20 levels below everyone else, it's nuts.
Right,
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. TV shows, not too much recently, actually. And the movie, I guess I've been mostly gaming lately. You guys got me into Destination Fear, which is now called Project Fear. So I have been binging the crap out of that, which is now on HBO. So that's cool. So I can go back, watch Destination Fear, and then catch up on Project Fear on YouTube. And yeah, I'm just hooked on that. I really like the group. The group is fun to watch, even outside of the ghostly, scary stuff. The group is really what keeps me coming back to them. They're super entertaining. So
Yeah.
if you guys,
that kind of stuff's not for everybody. My wife
It's
was like,
definitely-
she's like, this stuff is stupid. This stuff's stupid. Then she saw me watching this show, and she's like, "Is there any more of those?" So I was like, started watching them. Now she's like, "I think she even has a shirt." Okay, but anyway.
There you go. Yeah, my wife's a scaredy cat too, and she keeps going. She keeps like she's watching her laptop and then keeps looking up. She's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I thought you didn't want to hear about this stuff." Because when I was telling her about what was going on, she's like, "I don't want to hear about that. That's too scary." Now she keeps asking me about it. What's going on? Why is she screaming? Why is she scared?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do have one for you to read.
Sure.
From our buddy.
Oh, he's back. I knew you were gonna make an appearance today. Jibs Ryan's first party GoFundMe account. I'm getting ready for a big night sleep ahead of tomorrow, where I'll be fired for screwing up the ABK negotiations. Look for me working at a supermarket near you soon. Sorry, Jim. You tried though. You gave it an A for effort, but it just didn't work out.
We do appreciate that. Here's another good one too from Shaun T.
Shaun T. I spent 6 hours crafting a new build for my character in Diablo today, and yes, exactly, Shaun T. And it ended up being weaker than what I already had. Shaun, yes, I've been there multiple times, just rebuilding my thing to make it better, and sometimes it's like 1 foot forward and 2 steps back type of thing. So. But there's websites out there that kind of help you with your builds. But yeah, sometimes Diablo is a grind, man. It is definitely a grind, but it's a grind I enjoy. So it's a damn good game. And it's now going to be part of the Xbox family. So there you go.
There you go. All right, let me try something real quick here.
Sure.
As I'm talking through this. Welcome out to everybody in the chat. Looks like we have over 35 in the chat so far. And yes, the Iron Lords are still going strong.
Oh, come on, LP.
1,600 people watching right now.
What hour are they up to now?
7.
7, right?
7 hours.
Yep. Yep.
Well, it's 6. It's a little over 6.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well,
Oh, they started at 1 today, right?
Yeah.
1 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Yeah,
Eastern.
So yeah, it'd be
Okay.
a little
Eastern.
6
All right,
hours and 15 minutes strong.
All right.
Either way,
That's
it's
all
way more than I'm ever gonna do. It's crazy.
exactly.
We're going to try to beat them, though. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're going marathon. We're going to go till we find out the CMA deal is also over. We're just going to keep going. It's marathon. It's marathon.
Just going
Play some games.
I want to be there live when it's official.
You know what, Doomcutie? We're not. They're joking.
Oh, I know. They're being facetious. It's okay.
That's the word for it.
But are we?
Yeah. I mean, we could stay on stream. I will definitely be falling asleep, but it's not going to be very entertaining.
We could stream Fortnite if you like.
And I could probably go the whole way if we did that. That's the only way I could do it. Yeah, that's it. What's up, C Money's in the house? What's going on, brother?
All right, so if you wonder why I'm stalling, I'm trying to add something to the screen real quick while I'm.
You're good.
Let's see if I can get this to work. Windows.
How long did Jez and Rand go for? They went for 5 hours, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, actually,
they went for a long
Jez
time.
even left like an hour and a half early because he was like, "I've got to go to sleep," but they stayed on. For
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. There we go. That is what. Oh. Doomcutie, what happened?
I'm
Add
gone.
the stream. There we go.
There you are.
I'm gone.
Did you jump yourself out? I don't know. That was weird.
No.
No. I swear I didn't kick you. I promise. Yeah. We start talking about your stuff and I get rid of her.
Yeah.
It's too funny. So
Oh my
what
goodness.
we want to talk about now is Confessions of a Gamer Girl. And we
Oh my
definitely
goodness.
would like you to tell us all about it and what's going on with it.
So Confessions of a Gamer Girl is a project that I wanted to launch from the beginning of this year, and I did sort of hint about it on my Twitter about a special project I wanted to start in the middle of the year. And I've always wanted to work a little bit more with the Australian gaming scene, just try and collaborate with other creators more, which I feel like I have achieved already. So I'm pretty happy with my progress so far. But the real thing I wanted to do was create my own podcast. And I know that some of my co-hosts and people in other podcasts that I've been on have branched out and created their own. Like Umber, for example, he's got The Fix. But I wanted to create something different, and I wanted to create something specifically for Australians and specifically for females. So, and this is not a boys versus girls situation. It's more about just amplifying female voices in the community, because I just found that I went on a lot of podcasts and I was the only female, and
you guys need it. I think it's a good mission. Like, there should be more. There's as many female gamers as there are male gamers out there now. We know that. And we've heard the percentages. So yeah, I think it's warranted.
There is, and they are out there. And I had the Geek GG, Jessie James, on the podcast last week, and she was like, I used to be a closet gamer. I never used to go in chats. Like, even my co-host Alicia, she doesn't go in party chats, simply because she doesn't want to expose herself in that way, because she feels quite vulnerable already. So it was more about me creating a safe space for females to come and talk about the things that they love to talk about, and that's games. So, and I really wanted other women to see how other women got into the industry and kind of explore and get excited about their own paths in this space, whether they're creators, whether they're professionals, whether they want to build games, whatever they like. So I'm trying to get people on the podcast that are from all areas of gaming. So I've had social media managers, I've had content creators. Obviously, I had Alana Pierce for my first episode, which was incredible.
Amazing.
But the content on my podcast doesn't age, really. I mean, we do talk about some latest events, but our headlines aren't about the latest in gaming. Each episode is themed around a certain area of gaming. Like last week, we talked about gaming events. It kind of went on a little bit of a tangent, but I guess that sometimes happens on every podcast. But yeah, so if you don't catch the episode live, that's totally fine. You can always come back to it. And I know a lot of my American friends that I have, especially here as well, you can watch it anytime. And leave a comment. I love to see it. We love to see it. All the girls can see it. And like, honestly, Alicia and Ellie were so happy when they saw so many people celebrating it. So thank you so much to everyone who's either made a comment or follows it along on social media or anything like that, because these girls, like, I'm bringing them into this world of podcasting, and I've been doing it for 2 years now, and they're brand new. So please do make them feel welcome. And like, Alicia is fantastic. She is a real tech head. She's a bit more PlayStation than I am, which is totally fine. I don't mind. And she also works with JBL Quantum, and she's their Australia and New Zealand basically face. So yeah, she's a real go-getter, and she's a vibe. And then Ellie, like, she's so brand new to the space. She does writing like I do, and like, when we're on the podcast, she has a little baby. She has, like, I think he's 10 weeks old, and she's often like go her, but she's often breastfeeding and stuff like that. Like, she's awesome. Like, she's not letting anything like stop her from achieving her dreams. And I've been more than happy to bring these ladies on for the ride, because I think we're making we're carving out a new space, and it's really exciting. And like I said, thank you so much to everyone who's supported it. It's been a really fun time, and I've got some more cool people coming on. So definitely make sure you've got notifications on, because it's going to be great.
Yes, definitely. And here in a minute, I'm gonna drop the actual link. I've got it to where they can actually go and subscribe to your to that particular channel. And we want to make sure that you try and get you to 500 as fast as possible, so you can start taking in the super chats when you go live, and then of course up to 1,000, where you can do even more interactions with your audience. And I'm a guy. Obviously, but I have a wife and a daughter who is really big into YouTube and into gaming, and she loves the show. So, and she's watched them with me afterwards. She can't watch it when they happen live because she works, but we'll watch them later. And I think it's kind of cool, and she loves it too because it represents her. And,
That's amazing.
I didn't tell you this earlier because I wanted to tell you when we were alive. But it's
you've been keeping secrets from me.
Yeah, well, but and as not before we get off the subject though, but I mean, you have some really interesting people on your show. So no matter if you're into gaming at all, you're going to get something out of it, male, female.
Mm-hmm.
It's enjoyable. So I encourage everybody to go check it out. And like I said,
I appreciate that so much.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to bring out like this point, and this is why this is so important for what Doomcutie's doing. Like G may be saying, all my daughters are gamers, Doomcutie. Your content is very important. Exactly. Like it's important. We need these other voices. These people are playing games with us. We need them to be more and more podcasts as well. So that's a really good point, G. Maybe thanks for bringing that up. And of course, Joanna Dark saying, Doomcutie, you should have an episode on the evolution of female protagonists in gaming. That's a great subject.
Yeah, no, I actually already have a 25 episode plan. So
nice.
So yeah, it's coming. Don't worry. And yeah, so I've made this plan, and I'm adjusting where the episodes fall, because obviously the person that I want on there might not be available that week. So I try and adjust it. Like the next 3 weeks have been a little bit fluid, but I've had the same. I've been trying to adjust the schedule for certain guests. So yeah, that's definitely one. Are you spying on me? Are you a hacker? Like,
it's so funny. That's so funny. But
no, but yeah, if honestly, and if there are any, I don't know, like, if there's anyone that you guys want to see, but I'm so happy bringing new people that you all haven't heard of, that I have had relationships with, or I have, I've met, or whatever it is. I'm so happy to be bringing them to the forefront and showing lots of different aged women, lots of different ethnicity women, like, just honestly, just making it all, like I said, in empowering and amplifying women's voices in gaming. That is truly what this is about.
Oh, most definitely. And I think you're, like I said, you've got a really good niche, and I think you're the perfect person to develop in this community with this format. So I think it's going to go well. It's nothing but success. I mean, you're a school teacher, and it feels like not that you're teaching or preaching, but I mean, it feels like you have your curriculum, and you know what I'm saying? So you keep it on track and you keep it interesting
she's definitely organized. You just heard how many, like, how far out she's going. It's making me feel like a piece of crap over here. I'm like, how far ahead are you? Like, that's amazing.
You know what? It's much easier to do it in the format that I'm doing it, because, like I said before, I'm not just reporting on the latest news. Like, these are topics and themes within gaming that I can discuss. So it's not limited to news on ABK. It's not limited to different game events and that kind of thing. I can obviously inject those into these episodes, but I really wanted to be able to grab a clip from 2 months ago and post it and have it still be relevant. You know what I mean? Like, if there's something that pops up on Twitter or something that is happening within gaming news, I can say, well, hey, like, we spoke about this, and it's not necessarily a prediction about people, about things happening in gaming, but it could just be a general comment about gaming that can relate to it. So it's that was really important for me to be able to do that.
That's awesome. I do have a suggestion for you. Her name is Elaine Gomez Sanchez, and she is actually a program designer for video games. And she is pretty awesome. We had an interview. I had interviewed her on Outbreak Gamers, and so it's there if you want to check that out too. I'm promoting my own stuff. It's bad.
No, thank you.
But,
no.
She's a senior game designer for Brass Lion Entertainment. So she's the real deal, and she's pretty amazing. And I think she would be. I think she'd be good for your show.
Yeah.
Well, please do
big
encourage her
advocate
to.
for accessibility too.
Yes.
Right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fantastic. No, definitely encourage her to. I've got a guest application form. I know I've got all
Cool.
these application forms. You guys just like
such a teacher.
it's like, you guys like slide into each other's DMs, and I'm like, no, I want to know, like, on a form, like, can you be on camera? Are you comfortable? Like,
Yes.
what's your experience? Like, what kind of topics would you be interested in talking about? Like,
That's cool.
yeah, just I want every single guest on there to be really meaningful, and I want you guys to know also that I'm taking this seriously, and I really do care about it. So yeah, but I will let you know. I've already got 35 guests like on my list.
Sweet.
Of women that
I'm just
want to be
shaking
on
my head.
it.
I feel so unorganized in comparison to you. So I got to get my crap together. I got my Excel sheets too, but you're definitely kicking my butt. So my wife's a teacher too, so it makes a lot of sense to me.
I just love having everything be collaborative. Like, we've got a lot of collaborative documents and things like that we all share together. We all put our ideas in. Like, obviously this is my baby, but I couldn't do it without my co-hosts, Lishi and Ellie. So
yeah, and they're good people too. So anybody gets a chance, exactly tell them what time the show airs, so they can catch it live. But it's also, like I said, there's a lot of great episodes and more building every week.
Now, I do believe it's Friday Pacific, 11 p.m., 10 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But in Australia, it airs 1 p.m. AEST on Saturday. So it's, but we go live on YouTube. You can find, if you type in Confessions of a Gaming Girl, the link's in the chat as well. Kay Asante beat me to it.
Yep.
And
we take care of you.
You can.
Good job, Kay.
You can follow the show and get the notification when we go live. So someone in the chat has asked me if Sarah Bond is on that list.
Yeah. Of course she's on.
I cannot confirm. I cannot confirm nor deny. Honestly, it would be a dream to have her on the show. So if she is watching, I'm probably going to go back and clip this just to put it up on Twitter and tag her and say, Sarah Bond, we would love to have you on the Confessions of a Gamer Girl podcast. You're one badass woman, and we are so proud of you. Every single woman in this gaming community is so proud of you, and yeah, keep kicking those goals because we love to see it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. Plus, also, all your information is in the description below this as well, and will also be on the Spotify link when people listen later.
I know I'm on Spotify as well.
So there you go. So, but all that is there as well. So just make sure you guys check that out. So
Joanna Dark, Doomcutie, when you air your 25th episode, make sure to let me know how cool Claire Redfield is. Listen, Claire Redfield's fine. It's about Code Veronica. There's a thing going on about Code Veronica. I think it sucks. Joanna Dark says otherwise. we got a beef going on here.
Look, that's between you two. I'm not going to pick teams here, right?
Yeah. Do you like Code Veronica? No.
Too funny. Doomcutie, thank you for that. So
thank you.
You're welcome. And you have my permission to cut and edit whatever you need. So you don't have to ask later. You just do it. Well, it was kind of cool because you asked me, you sent me a message, hey, can I share this? I'm like, absolutely. Whatever you need, whatever we can do to help, we're there for
really
you.
Do.
You're welcome. All right, RHETRI, what's next?
We're gonna talk ABK. We have to. Right? We don't have a choice. I'm sorry. It's still going on. But good news is this stuff is coming to an end. As we heard today, the last thing we heard today actually was Sony signing a 10-year COD deal with Microsoft. But what's missing? Well, that's kind of because they're not I saw a lot of the Sony guys, I'm not going to call any names out here, calling this a win. And maybe it is a win. It's good that COD is staying on PlayStation, I think it should be, but they're leaving out the fact that they were actually in the original contracts, they had possible Blizzard games going into Sony. That is no longer the case. So what's missing is Blizzard and other Activision games, as a matter of fact. So it just seems like COD is going to be going to PlayStation. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's not going into PS Plus either, right? Does anyone know? Was that
No, it's
confirmed or
not.
not?
There's nothing in
Okay.
that deal for that.
They will
I think,
never put that there.
yeah, that Sony,
I
it
just
doesn't
don't
make
think
any
they want to
business
pay
sense.
it, right?
Yeah, that doesn't make any
Yeah.
business
Mm.
sense for Sony because you're not going to pay that for somebody else's IP for
Right.
and then it not only to build up a service that you're not all in on right now with anything else, but you're going to lose out on those. They still rely on those Call of Duty sales on their system, as Jim Ryan has pointed out, to help fund other things, right? So instead of that being a negative cash flow to build up a service that they at this point in time aren't serious about, and taking away from the core business as it is today, which is something that is working for them for now. It doesn't really make sense, right? So yeah, I always felt like that was the Microsoft's offer to put that in PS Plus was always kind of I don't know what the way you could say it. Like I'm not saying that they wouldn't have honored it if Sony would have accepted it, but
yeah,
it always felt like it wasn't really much of an offer, if you know what I'm saying. Because they knew Sony was never going to take that.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. I mean, I guess it's nice. It's kind of like starting over, like right back to the original deal that they wanted to make. Obviously, it went from 3 years to 10 years, but I think 10 years is plenty of time for Sony to get their games as a service up to par. And we know they're making 10 to 12 games anyways, and that's how they're going to try to combat and compete against Microsoft, which is known as the shooter, as the bro shooter box, right?
Back to the OG identity.
Right, yeah, which we know is not really the case anymore because Microsoft owns all these studios, and Microsoft is weird, like Sony used to be, right? So Sony, I feel, has kind of pigeonholed themselves into certain types of games. Xbox was like that with shooting, but they are not like that anymore. When you have Game Pass and you have all these studios, you got a huge variety of games that you would never see 10, 20 years ago. But I want to discuss more about what's going on with this deal. Do you guys think, I'm just going to ask you quick opinions. Do you guys think that this thing is over on the CMA side, right? We're going to get Post up in here. I'll get his opinion on this as well, obviously, because he follows this on a daily basis. But do you guys personally think that this thing in some fashion will be over in the next couple of days, whether it be Monday or Tuesday before the actual deadline of the 18th? Can you see some sort of world where we can move on with our lives, or do you think this is going to drag out? Preach, right?
Preach.
Can we all move on, please, baby Jesus? Come on, like just pull it off. I just want this over. But what do you guys think? Doomcutie, I'll go with you. Like, do you think it's possible that CMA is working with Microsoft right now and there will be a solution? And we know they're working with them, but do you think this could finish in the next couple of days?
I really hope so. Quite frankly, for my Twitter feed, it's been broken. It's been broken for several days now. No, but seriously, like I think once they've been given like a green light here, so I don't see them slowing down in regards to finalizing this. So yeah, really, really hoping that it's done and this is it.
I hope so. One Bad Mother, what do you think? I mean, I know a lot of people think this is over. Do you agree with that assessment, or?
Yeah, I think right now we're really waiting on is the formalities of it, right? Like the official signing of it. Unofficially, I think it's over. And the whole fact that we just went through the FTC trial is because they saw this thing coming to an end, and this was kind of their last shot. Initially, it looked like what the FTC was trying to do was run out the clock. Extend this, make Microsoft have to pay another $3 billion or whatever it is to renegotiate to extend the deal, potentially kill it out of through the process, not necessarily the substance of their argument. And the only reason why this thing went to trial the time that it did is because Microsoft, they basically kind of got the understanding that Microsoft had some sort of agreement being worked out with the CMA. It seems like after that initial cat trial where the initial judge there sat there. Remember, he said he wasn't very impressed with the argument that he was like looking at. I think the signs were kind of being laid out that the CMA wasn't really in a good spot with their particular argument, and so it sounds like Microsoft had something they've been working on for a month with the CMA. Is what's kind of been leaked out, which makes sense. So they obviously had that, and then they probably, with that in mind, were ready to close close over the FTC, and that's one of the reasons they filed the injunction, because otherwise there would have been no other reason for that injunction to have been filed. So yeah, long story short, this is a formality now. Whether now they kind of all go back to the table and go like, hey, let's make this official. Let's do this as clean as possible in the UK, push it back. That is a possibility, but I don't think that the end result is in doubt. I think the only thing we're kind of waiting for now is when can Microsoft hold their roundtable to talk about it, right? Like that's, I think, what we're waiting to find out. The deal's basically done at this point in time. It's been every single region has thrown out the console theory of harm, and I think that's maybe the other interesting story coming out of all this, because you mentioned earlier, like, is this there's some debate whether this is a win for Sony and Jim Ryan or not. From the initial offer, you can look at it and say, hey, they got it prolonged. Although I don't think Microsoft ever had the intent of pulling this out, Call of Duty off of PlayStation within 4 years, 5 years. Like, I think initially there was just going to be like, hey, let's just do this the way that we've always done and just re-up it in 4-year turns and things like that.
Like a normal term for a contract, which is not 10 years. That's not normal at all.
Right, because you can't foresee exactly what the PS6 is going to be and all that. But I think they probably decided, hey, look, 10 years, it's not very much of a risk to us because we don't see ourselves pulling this off of, we don't see it's very, very unlikely. It'd be a stretch for us to see any point in time where we're going to remove Call of Duty from PlayStation. So let's go ahead and offer them the 10-year deal. And I think that's where, when they move to that and where they're at today, I think Jim Ryan should have leveraged where they were at that point in time, because it does sound like there was other ABK licenses on the table to guarantee that those other licenses were going to continue to be on PlayStation 5 and potentially PlayStation 6.
Sony had the leverage, and now they don't, and that's what happened, right?
And they lost a couple other things too, because there was a lot of doubt, right? Like, we did not know. I said from the beginning of this process, we've never seen a vertical merger blocked in 50 years.
Right. Yep.
But at the same time, with everything going with the push against big tech, which is worldwide, we didn't know where that line was, and if Microsoft got ABK, would this be like the last big acquisition they could make? How are they going to have to work with Sony going forward? I think if Sony would have taken that deal at that time, you would have had all that uncertainty and that doubt kind of like lingering over everything. And so and then we also heard Kotick say, hey, they even reached out to try to extend the deal, the marketing deal. So now we're in a situation where Microsoft is going to get that marketing deal sooner or later, probably sooner than later. And now the guardrails of uncertainty that was around future aggressive Microsoft have been kind of widened a lot, because they had to go through this process, because they had to litigate this in every single region. we've now had the console theory of harm thrown out in every single region, including the UK. So now if Microsoft wants a Sega or they want a Capcom or whatever, and I'm not saying they're going to do that tomorrow, but down the road, what if you close Call of Duty and there's no console theory of harm, now what's to stop those deals? And
it creates precedence for them.
Yeah, exactly. Doomcutie precedence. That's
Yep. So
that's exactly it.
They know where they know. One bad mother. I will sue you for defamation. So I'm reading in the chat. I think Jim Ryan was in a good position. He was in a position of power. He was in a position where Microsoft, they didn't want to go through this process, because even if they always thought they were going to win, which you don't know, right? There's always that uncertainty. But even if they were sure of that, you don't want to go through this process, because you don't want all your skeletons to come out the closet. You don't want the exposure of the gaming industry or scrutiny on the industry as a whole. You didn't want emails from Matt Booty from 2019 talking about killing Sony to come out. And Microsoft would have probably, I think Jim Ryan was in a position of leverage, and he has none now. So this 10-year deal, you got basically what Microsoft wanted to give you. This is, as far as Microsoft and Sony is concerned, there really is no concessions as far as I can see, So like the concessions are really more towards the things they had to do with the cloud and whatever they're going to work out of the UK. But
I'm gonna jump into that after I read these, because we're gonna talk about the cloud side of this.
Go ahead.
But,
Drawn TJ, $5 super chat. Hi guys, they will close tomorrow. Screw the CMA. Sony signed the deal. There is no harm. And another $5 super chat. Thank you, Drawn TJ. Again, the CMA is trying to stall 40 countries approved, including the big two. Yeah, I mean, it's weird, right? You got it feels like the whole world is on one side, and you're sitting over here just wasting taxpayers' dollars, just try to continue fight the good fight. Time to give up. But let's talk about the cloud stuff. Do you guys think, I'm going to start with you, Doom. Do you think I'm just going to, throw out the theories here about what could possibly happen for the cloud side for the UK. Do you think they'll carve out the cloud itself out of the UK? That one of the theories was that they will give it to EE, which I think was used to be was T-Mobile at one time, is now been bought out multiple times or whatever, but now they're called EE. So they do internet and mobile. I guess it's possible that Microsoft takes the cloud and lets EE run it for them within the UK itself. Do you think that's something that could happen in the UK? Do you think that's likely? I know cloud's not a big deal, right? Like it's not it's kind of like, who cares about cloud? But if that's the sticking point for the CMA, do you think that is a possibility of happening?
Well, I think they've already made a 10-year deal with Xbox PC Game Pass with the UK's EE. So I think that could potentially solve problems for them. But I think people underestimate the future of cloud gaming, quite frankly, because I have always seen it as the bridge between console and mobile gaming. And and mobile gaming's bigger than PC, bigger than console gaming put together by a far margin. So you guys can sit there all day and argue about your little plastic boxes, but really you should be worried about the things you carry around in your pockets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. That's the giant. That's the giant in the room. You're right.
So I think it is important, and I think it is important for Xbox and Microsoft moving forward. And I think they will try to appease the UK until they can come up with an amicable solution. And I think it will be important for them moving forward in that space. But I think the UK needs to realise that by rejecting this, by not accepting their terms, they are going to lose. And I think a lot of their customers, a lot of the consumers in the UK are going to put pressure on them and push back. And I would encourage them to do so, because quite frankly, I live in Australia myself. I already feel like we're already behind in a lot of ways compared to the US, especially within gaming. So I would say to them, if this is something that you're not happy about, definitely voice it, because
Yes.
Because you're going to be the difference, with these kinds of things. So yeah, but yeah, cloud gaming. It's a big thing. I think it's going to be I think it has been a dark horse for people that haven't realized how big it is, how big it's going to be. And that's the reason why it came up with the CMA, because it is such an unknown place, and it does feel like maybe Microsoft does have the monopoly. They're trying to like acquire all these cloud gaming providers, but I think what they're trying to do is create an infrastructure so that everything is stable, and create and make sure that everyone can access this. So in order to do that, if you pool all the resources, it's going to work better. But I suppose from a business perspective, that seems like a monopoly.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to ignore all the servers that they already have in place. So it's weird how it's weird if you like separate cloud gaming versus just cloud, right? Like, because their cloud is huge in that regard. They're up there with AWS.
Okay, we need to jump in for just a second real quick. First, I want to thank Silent Cypher for gifting 5 memberships, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
And in case you were wondering, how come I didn't get a membership? Well, it's kind of a random, but I'll tell you, this is a trick I learned the other day. If you look at the top on your chat, there is, sorry for my little puppy yepping in the background, but you can click on where he actually gave the membership.
Allow gifts
and allow gifts. Yeah, exactly. Turn that on, and then somebody else gives gifts on this channel, then you have a better chance to actually receive a gift. So I learned that the other day. I thought that's kind of cool. Didn't know that it worked that way.
It's like gifting subs cool. on
like Twitch.
On Twitch.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm very excited to be able to like read out stuff on my own podcast when we eventually get to 1,000. So it's gonna be really amazing. Can't wait.
You're gonna get there soon because you only need 500, but you just need the watch hours. So
oh my gosh, you just gifted another 5. Silent Cypher, thank you, sir. But
my goodness.
That's my buddy. It feels weird when you.
Oh my god, I got one. What the hell?
There you go. So
that's for playing. That's for playing Fortnite with us. Thank you, Doom. Thank you, Silent.
So guys, if you're now green in the chat, that gives you a couple of quick things just to let you know. Obviously, we have all these cool custom emojis, which I'm getting ready to drop in there, and that you can just go on and you can express yourself by using those emojis. So you definitely want to check that out.
Let me see. Oh, this is exactly like Twitch. This is exactly like
Twitch.
There
you go. And then also too, we just did yesterday. Which I also want to shout out to King David, who's in our chat now.
Yes.
They just wrapped up a 6-hour and 40-minute Iron Lords podcast.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know
how they do it.
But King jumped in and said and shouted out to us. So thank you, King.
Too.
That's one bad mother. They broke their record, over 3,000 viewers live. I was one of them. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, couldn't be happier. I love those guys. Yep. And they are great guys behind us.
They are all super nice. And I have interviewed all of them. They're on this channel as well. Click below, and there's actually a special section of all the Iron Lords interviews, one right after another. So you can check that out. Also, and I hate to keep doing this, but we have one more super chat from Drawn TJ. So
sure, Drawn TJ with $5 super chat. It's like Hargeet said, our phones and handhelds will be the way to go. Cloud is pointless. People only use it to try games. I mean. There's back and forth, and I'm definitely gonna. I can see one bad mother's his brain's going. He's like, I'm gonna combat that a little bit.
Go for it.
So to a point, like what Doom was saying, like I do think people are possibly underestimating the cloud. Like we were told it was a big deal until we were told it wasn't a big deal at all. Right? All of a sudden, when the percentages came out for what it was, everyone's like, oh, it's crap. But I think there is a world where cloud gaming could have its own decent sized market.
Technology keeps getting better.
Technology gets better.
Thank you,
and we've heard Brad, the president say that he doesn't, that they don't believe, and we've heard Kodak say that they think that the phones themselves are so powerful, to Drawn TJ's point, that'll make the cloud moot. I don't know if I buy that, but one bad mother, I saw you going. So once you,
yeah, I mean,
you
it's not 100%. So it's not 100%
Yeah.
disagreement. I think there's a lot of nuance to the discussion though, because I've actually been on the Boom's podcast with Hargeet when he was talking about that, and so I it got me thinking about it back then. And I'm like, because he's right to one extent. Like I got the ROG Ally. Like why the hell? And I started like this is like the Steam Deck ROG Ally is like kind of the beginning, right? Like the starting point of mainstreaming those types of devices, the PC in your hand, and it's not going to end there. iPads or other tablets in the future, that as this industry keeps growing. And as games get more scalable, more and more devices will figure out how to get a piece of that, right? And so you're going to expect to see, it's not going to be a shock to someday see an Apple tablet come with a controller, or a Samsung tablet come with a controller, right? Or some way to kind of take gaming on the go. So I agree with that. I do think though, when Microsoft talks about cloud, like it's cloud is almost like a proxy for gaming anywhere, right? Because not every segment of gamer, not every country is going to engage with gaming the same way. And in some countries, they're already seeing in some countries that cloud is already working there, like they're getting engagement. And the UK is probably not one of those markets. UK is probably more traditional market. You're probably going to continue to have PC and console and stuff. But if you think about some of these other markets, consoles not even viable. Yeah, consoles not even viable. Big consoles, big PC gaming PCs, they don't fit into the homes. They're not affordable, and so selling people a way to access these kinds of games through a cloud is going to have a different impact on some of those markets than it does here. So I guess, like when you look at it with the UK, I can totally see why they would basically be like, yeah, listen, we'll work with third-party companies. You guys can take over the cloud licenses in the UK only. We're not like, we're comfortable with where we're going to be in the UK, right? And Call of Duty is probably not going to be the thing that's going to drive cloud in the UK, Twitchy game anytime soon. So, and we don't know all the details. It could be something that's just like, hey, we're going to allow cloud gaming to go through other companies for now. We'll sell them the licenses or give them the licenses for free until we can work out a long-term deal. I can see that being a thing they do. But at the end of the day, like even in the US here, UK, cloud is probably not going to be as important for the AAA gaming that we're all used to in the near term. It's going to take a lot longer for it to mean something here. I could see someday though, where it's going to be, you think about gaming anywhere, the technology is going to evolve to keep getting this gaming industry. They're expecting it to get bigger and bigger. And so you're going to expect to see like TV companies start to come with a controller and build in a chip inside the TV that's going to be as powerful as your handheld or something. So like all that stuff probably is down the road, and it's hard to anticipate exactly the details of what it will be. But usually what happens is when a market has that demand, companies figure out a way to
fill it.
Yeah, different ways to fill it. So I do think gaming everywhere, being an app, right? Having Call of Duty in your Xbox ecosystem is what Microsoft really cares about. I think that in the UK, if they have to go through somebody else and not own that for whatever reason, it's like no big deal. I don't think though it's going to hurt the UK customer as much as people assume. I think
it won't at all if EE takes over. It'll literally just be two different companies. Like one company is giving you the game on PC and Xbox, and the other company is giving it to through cloud.
Yep. Yeah, and that's
on your end. It doesn't really change too much. So.
And at the end of the day, the CMA wants this is a thing of show. It's a thing of politics, and they need to come out of this and say, hey, look, we got something done. We're protecting you, whatever. Like they're going to come out with something that's going to, Microsoft and them will work on something that will make the CMA save face. but they won't hurt the customers in the process. So all the thoughts of like, hey, they're going to pull it off of Game Pass, but it'll be in every other region. I don't believe that's going to be the case.
I don't either. I don't buy that.
Yeah, I think it's going to still be, it's still going to be a pro-consumer move because the CMA is not that dumb. Like they want to still represent consumers, and they don't want their consumers to get a worse deal than everybody else. So.
Right. And to like Doom's point, what she said earlier is like, make your voice heard. If something was that was to happen, I think UK gamers would come out in droves and go, oh, so we're paying the same amount as the rest of you for a lesser service. Like, and I know like most of us, because this is how I use the cloud specifically. What Drawn TJ said, I've only used it till I test out the games, right? I don't download it. If it's a huge file to download, I'll test it out, and then I'll go, okay, this is worth my time, and then I'll go and download it, which turns out is how like 90% or whatever of the Xbox users are using it for, which is great. It's just an added little value there. So it's being used. It's just not being used to the point that CMA and all these guys were probably arguing about.
Yeah, I don't think it's
though.
Right.
Could change.
Did you guys read this super chat already? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He referred to it, but
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, let me read that. Drawn TJ, $10 super chat. Look, I get it. Cloud is useful in some parts, but let me ask you guys: would this play Halo, Battlefield, or COD on cloud, or play it on your Xbox or PC? Let's be realistic. Oh, yes. Yes, it would. But here's why. I mean, in the future, maybe not today, but in the future, absolutely, because NVIDIA does it now and does it better than your PC can.
Yeah, Microsoft's
just
still
saying.
got a ways to go.
Like the Microsoft is behind NVIDIA, but can it happen? Will it happen? Yes, absolutely. Of course, then we'll be in 8K. You'll always be behind a little bit, right? Probably Microsoft will be behind in cloud, but NVIDIA is doing it, man. Like their service is no joke. From everyone that I know who uses it, praises it up and down. You know what I mean? Where I have like a 3060
mobile is massive.
Yeah,
you
like
can't
I got a
ignore the
3060
fact that
Ti in mine, and you can play on a 4080 through the cloud with crazy amount of frames. I can literally get more frames than I can on my computer now through NVIDIA. So I think there is a market there. The question mark is, I think, how big is that market? Does it move the needle? Is it, and is it going to be huge in the future? I don't know. We don't know. I think it's a little premature to say that it won't be anything or it will be something. Be honest with you, I'm not quite sure. Time will tell, I guess.
I got a direct message to me. Maybe didn't go in chat. So just to explain, if you're in the chat, if you want to, you can. If you right click, there's a reload button. You can click a reload, and then thanks to Silent Cypher, he was nice enough to donate some memberships. Well, you get enough memberships, you can add another emoji. So I did, and they were like, "Where'd that come from?" But it won't show up until you refresh. So basically, we now have Grogu as a
love Grogu.
What?
Who doesn't love Grogu? Look at that!
Know, right?
Come on,
Isn't he adorable?
He's
there
so
you go.
freaking cute.
So I know you're like, we're talking about gaming. Dave's talking about emojis, but we're all having fun.
That's right.
Oh, hell
it's an added benefit.
I am down for that.
Emojis. Yeah.
There you go, cutie.
Have you guys seen my Grogu tattoo?
Grogu? I'm sorry, what?
You guys haven't seen my Grogu tattoo, have you?
I don't think so.
No, we're not going to see it now. Thanks for the tease. You'll have to watch it on her Confessions of the Gamer Girl podcast.
I will, but yeah. Yeah, I have lightsabers and a Grogu on the back of my my left arm, which you can't see from the front. And yeah, it's pretty cute.
Yeah, everyone loves the Grogu. What's up, Lady Foxfire? Thank you for coming out tonight.
Yeah, Big Mad Mo. There's so many great members of the community in here. Thank you all so much for being here. We have over 120 people. Grogu's blowing up.
Grogu should be blowing up. I knew that would be a good one. I was like, we gotta get Grogu on there. Everybody loves Grogu.
Grogu and Phil.
And Phil.
Yeah.
My buddy.
Someone said that, man. You know what? I want to see Phil Spencer in Disneyland. I want to see him in the Star. I want to see him making a lightsaber. I want him with Mando and Grogu. I want to see that man happy. Give that man a holiday. Jeez.
I think he's happy now.
He's happy
more
now.
happier tomorrow.
Yes.
That's my guess. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, we have a new channel member too. Dun dun dun.
King Webb, very well. Love this guy. He's been supporting me and this channel day one, man. Like King Webb's, he's a real guy. King Webb became a YouTube member. I appreciate that. He is now
Thanks,
a
buddy.
youngling. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Did you have anything else, Dave? Because I was going to move on to some IP stuff.
One thing we have to talk about the cat in the room. I mean, talk about that adorable kitty. Who is that?
He's just cleaning himself.
At least he's not cleaning his ass right now. Somebody needs to do that.
RHETRI does it all the time.
He's living his best life. I just want to see. You need to put a cup there because I want to see the cat go, fuck this cup, because that's what all cats do. They just shove shit off of tables. Anyways, all right, he's gone. So I wanted to talk about some IPs from Activision and Blizzard, and for you guys personally, does this ABK thing matter for you as a gamer? Like, do you enjoy Activision Blizzard games? One, that's my first question. And is there anything else you guys would like to see maybe revived once Activision and Blizzard is officially under a Microsoft banner? Maybe some old IPs that have been dormant that maybe you would like to see come back. And if you don't know the IPs, I got the long list here. There's a fucking ton of them. So if you need help, I can go through those lists, and then you can be like, oh yeah, that one, I played that.
Nah, you know what? I've got mine already because I said it already on Xbox Infinite podcast. So I've done my homework.
Let's do it.
Nice. Guitar Hero, let's go. It needs to happen. It needs to happen again. Honestly, the thing is, rock doesn't age. I'm sure lots of people agree with me.
100% agree with that sentiment.
So I think it can be relatable. I don't to this new younger generation. I will say though, I don't know how they're going to go with hardware. Like that'll be the interesting part.
I think it's okay though, right? See, that's the kickback. I said Guitar Hero 2 is one of mine, and I got a ton of crap for it. And I was told, well, peripherals, like why would they do that? And I'm thinking, are you talking about Xbox? The guys who have more freaking controllers than everyone else combined? Like,
they are
the
peripherals
going to be the problem here? That's not going to stop people, in my opinion.
No,
in fact, they'll probably have a bunch. Oh, I was going to say they'll probably have a bunch of make your own guitar.
Right? Yeah, you have a kit.
Can you imagine?
Like a guitar kit. That would be great.
It'll be like Lego around here.
That's a great idea, One Bad Mother. You should
I said Beanox,
and then talk to Xbox about that one. Shit, that's a good one.
I said that Beanox would make that. So I mean, I don't know when, but yeah, definitely Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it doesn't have to happen anytime soon. Just something on the horizon that you might be looking forward to. So, Guitar Hero, in my opinion, absolute great answer. I think it
Saber agrees with you too.
No, and just saying they would like very similar to like Beat Saber, right? So Beat Saber, there is so much user generated content from that. You will have people on TikTok making actual music. Like if they had a custom section where you could like actually make music, like I made this track on my Xbox. Like honestly, I can see this blowing up. Like the streams for it are always so good. So yeah, can we tomorrow? Yeah, that's like the next priority, right?
Can we get on that? Yeah, yes. Absolutely. Drawn TJ with a $5 super chat. He's killing it tonight. If I'm Microsoft, buy Sega now, you would have Creative Assembly go to EA and offer to make a new Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer. I like that one.
One more.
There'd be a lot of synergies between Sega and Blizzard because Sega has a lot. Their Western studios are grossly underrated, and you probably could find some RTS crossovers and other types of things. They got a lot of stuff that they do on that side. So
I like his next one because it speaks to something that I'm not sure how many people love this game. Drawn TJ with another $5 super chat. Bring back Deadpool, very good answer, and Blur, the racing game, which I want back so badly. And Vigilant V8, and probably one of my number ones. This is Prototype. Such a great game. I think that would be a good one. They have the IP. It's a superhero thing. I've been, bitching about. I want superhero stuff on the Xbox, whether it be Hulk or anything from DC, which is why I want Warner Brothers. But One Bad Mother's anything out of the back catalog for Activision or Blizzard, and you can name as many as you want or whatever, that you would like to see come back, or maybe something revised, or anything.
Well,
anything
like I said on Boom's podcast Wednesday, if they don't bring back Geometry Wars, this acquisition was a failure for me.
I love it.
That was actually seriously, that's actually one of my favorite games of all time. I played
It's a
that
good game.
Yeah,
definitely a good game.
If you remember the Xbox 360 launch, it had a few good games, but there was a little bit of a lull because Perfect Dark didn't really stick, right? And my daughter was born back then, so she would sit on my lap and I'd play Geometry Wars for hours. I got up to number 6 in the world before my eyes almost melted out of my head, and I decided I needed to retire. I went to the mirror and they were completely red. It looked like I got stabbed in both eyes. So I retired at number 6 because I figured I was going to go blind, dude. And that's the highest. That's the best I've ever done in a game. But no, seriously. Additionally, though, actually, the things that excite me more are the things that the potential crossovers, the sort of like the teams being able to kind of work to revive IPs with each other. Like, we've all heard about the Toys for Bob and Banjo, right? Like that seems obvious. Doing a Banjo remake maybe to begin, just to get something out quickly. The StarCraft Ghost is to this day is the most bummed I ever was for a game that was announced to be canceled, way more than Scalebound. So it would be, and you think about that because you remember when they announced Perfect Dark was going to be made for Xbox, everybody kind of assumed it was going to be a third person, narrative driven, over the shoulder action adventure, like a Sony game, right? And it's not that. It could still be something good, really good, but it's not going to be that. And I actually look at some of the things that some of the IPs that are in God, I was losing my voice earlier this week and it looks like I'm still there. So I apologize. But I think about the IPs like a StarCraft, like a Warcraft. You could do spin-offs, right? You could take it to another genre. You could take them to a narrative driven or an RPG. You got all these RPG studios. So maybe Blizzard does a Warcraft single player RPG, right? Like why just stick? Yeah, all that lore you've been building for all these years, why have it all just locked within this MMO that has, that I think they're having a hard time getting new people to engage in it. So you could bring a whole new audience to that world by spinning stuff off. So I just think about the possibilities long term, and that's probably from an IP standpoint, that's more exciting to me than anything. Call of Duty is okay to me. I play the game. I play them sometimes. Sometimes, some years I don't. It's just I could take it early with them. They're okay, but it's really it's the other stuff. It's thinking about and maybe even taking Call of Duty in a different direction, right? Like there was some rumors of that. Like let's have some fun with some of these big IPs, because one thing we've seen in the last, gosh, you could probably say decade, is that even when these big AAA publishers decide that they're going to go ahead and make a single player game, they're usually not doing it with a fresh IP anymore. They're usually going back to something that's big, right? They're grabbing a Disney IP, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel. And I think, Activision's IPs are that big in terms of like just the social, just their presence amongst, our, I don't know, just it's like in terms of entertainment, like IPs in general. Like they. Oh, go ahead.
I have something to push back on that a little bit.
Do it. Push back.
I think that all of these lovely nostalgic IPs, all these characters that you all love, Banjo Kazooie,
does nobody care about them? Just us?
Are they relevant? Are they relevant to anyone who is an elder millennial?
I hear you. No,
You know, that's a gamer.
I
Like,
love
is
that she said
that
elder millennial.
Boomstick, if you're listening, please forgive her.
I love that.
I'm an elder millennials, but I'm
Me too.
people who are like 35, 36, you know, 40. Like, you guys really love these characters. You really care about this. But do other people care about it? I don't think
I don't
so.
know.
So I got
Maybe.
okay. I think she's right on the point, but I have a but to that. So
Yeah.
I would agree.
I'm listening.
I would agree that these IPs are not like when you talk about a Banjo, even a Perfect Dark. I would even say even a Fable, right? Like these IPs are not what they once were. I mean, hell, even Halo in some ways. But you know, like these IPs, we've moved to a different age of gaming. These IPs don't resonate with the younger gamers coming up and the new generations. But here's the thing about it though, and the reason why I think, you know, like even Microsoft, when they started to form the initiative, said, hey, let's use Perfect Dark, even though this may have almost no resemblance at all to the old Perfect Dark, maybe just in spirit. I think it at least gives you a base, a foundation, even if you have a smaller hardcore base, that can do a lot from the fan service, right? To just get that initial buzz, that initial group of people talking about it. It's starting from somewhere. You're not starting from scratch.
It's kind of average. Like, they're going to go from, like, you know, taking down Sony to releasing remastered Banjo-Kazooie.
Well,
that's not hot.
Built from the ground up Banjo-Kazooie. The thing is like
there's nothing wrong with him. Like, I just come on.
We had this discussion to Doomcutie's point. We had this discussion specifically about Indiana Jones, right? We're like, is anyone going to catch on to that? But you could still build, if the game is good, you can build a new audience and hit the reset button for everyone to love, like Crash Bandicoot if it was to come back, or a Banjo-Kazooie.
It's an addition to
it. All right.
You can try. Like, I'm not out here saying people can't try.
All right. I'm going to interrupt her for just a second. I got to do some housekeeping. This is awesome. No, I don't mean to interrupt the flow. First of all, everybody in the chat that is a channel member, make sure you flood the chat with the Banjo-Kazooie emoji for Doomcutie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, there's a couple super chats. Also, our wonderful friend Silent Cypher, oh my goodness, he gifted another 5 memberships. If you're now green, you are a gifted member thanks to him. Thank you so much. And if you're interested in how I can do that, click on the chat where it says at the top where I gifted membership. If you click on it once, then you can actually make yourself available, give permission to receive. So if somebody else does a membership gifting, wow, it's been a long day, then you might be the lucky one to get it. So there you go. Just want to make sure everybody knew this. So let's read these super chats real quick. And we also have a new channel member too, so make sure we get them that as well.
100%. John TJ with $5 super chat. Hey, don't forget True Crime had the coalition work on it, and Unreal Engine. Absolutely. We have a lot of Unreal Engine love coming from this chat. 100%.
And then we have
Gerald Mack. What's going on, Jay Mack? Gerald Mack became a YouTube member. That's my guy. I love
Look
that
at the
guy.
chat.
Oh my god, you guys! I have to say this because I've got Paris in my DMs, and he's like, chat is subscriber only mode, but Banjo matters to me. So I've clearly ruffled a few feathers, but hey, I get called. Yeah. You know what? I get called out all the time.
Tell him to subscribe so he can come in here and talk some shit.
Wait 5 minutes, chat all he wants to, and then he can unsubscribe if he's that. If he doesn't want.
He wants to speak his piece. He can subscribe.
So if you're listening to the show, please hit the subscribe button. The reason we do a 5-minute unsubscribe is because it helps eliminate some of the people that want to come in and just drop hate, like Paris. Just kidding. But
no. Okay. Honestly, there are so many people out there. They're like, oh, Doomcutie has like such soft takes. Like she doesn't actually, you know, like.
That's not a soft take.
Actually, no, I know that, and I know lots of people aren't gonna like me for that. But I I'm a bit unsure whether this is going to be like the next heavy hitter for Microsoft. That's all.
You could be right. Like I'm not I like the
You
point
know-
that you brought that up because we've discussed that in the past too. So
right, we have 2 more
I
super
appreciate
chats.
that. All right,
Sorry,
Dron TJ.
sorry.
It's all right,
No,
no.
you're fine. Yeah, Dron TJ with the $5 super chat. Look, if they did what I mentioned tonight, I would be so happy. Well, Dron TJ, you mentioned as you always do, and I love you a lot. You mentioned a lot. So yeah, for them to do everything you said, that would be
or at
pretty
least
epic.
something that you said. How's that?
Yeah.
Not necessarily all of it, but
I'll take some of it. Dron
There
TJ
you
is
go.
just like me. He's a greedy gamer, as he should be. Sabriel with the $5 super chat. I want Xbox to buy Capcom. Now you're speaking my language for Steel Battalion. Okay, that's a good game. That game deserves a
great
modern
game.
version with that huge 40 button controller. Please.
And just to give you a heads up, Sabriel is a family member, and
oh, very nice.
And they have my old no, they actually they played it for a while when I used to have it, and then now they have
Paris is here.
Let's go.
Oh,
What's
look,
up, Paris?
is here. Oh,
Stop the
goodness.
banjo
There we go.
hate. I know. It's always the young guns, Paris, that come in here and like, does anybody care about the banjo and the and the stuff you owe? I don't know. She might be right. I'm not sure, but I want it.
Welcome,
Look, we were talking about Pitfall. We were talking about Pitfall, for God's sakes. We're like, bring that back. Does anyone care about Pitfall? I don't know.
We're just gonna leave that there for a minute, Doom.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
there's
Welcome,
actually
Paris.
I was going to say there's actually some numbers that that push
for a second. I thought your cat was licking his butt. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, he will in a minute. As soon as I say that out loud, you know, banjo, banjo's too old.
Welcome, Farq.
No, the Crash Bandicoot remake that came out a few years back that sold over 10 million. That thing had no business selling what it sold.
Oh, did it really? I did not know that.
And I would say this: there's 3 points I would make to why you would bring back. Number one, like you're right, like you're probably going to have to, you know, the vast majority of the players out there are going to be a new audience, so you're just going to build off the old audience. So you're going to try to do 2 things at once. But Activision, you know, ABK, one of the things that they that's so underrated about this acquisition from Microsoft's standpoint is that their marketing, like their way to kind of sell things to gamers is probably the only other company that competes with them in that area is Sony themselves. This is the first time Microsoft has a company that knows how to promote things, right? And then the final thing is you have Game Pass. So you bring all that stuff together and you can revitalize a genre, which I do think there is still an audience for, because, and I know Mario sits on a pillar
by
of
himself,
all its own.
Yeah.
But
completely different. Like Mario has just like, it's never stopped. He's never ever stopped. It's just,
that's true.
You can't
It
compare.
shows the genre. It shows that the genre still has potential, right? So there really isn't a lot of, we haven't seen too many high quality, anything even approaching AAA in terms of, you know, traditional platformers. I know Psychonauts came out a few years ago, was one of my favorite games of the year, but that wasn't really your traditional type of, that was more of a story driven type of game. I think, you know, you think about something like how Crash performed, the fact that Mario still has a massive audience, that genre still has potential. And so why not try to reboot the genre?
Right.
Why not try to build an audience within the Xbox ecosystem, within Game Pass, with probably your best, Crash and Banjo were probably going to be their best shots at doing that, right? So yeah, I think they absolutely need to bring that back and give it a shot.
Two things. It's got scrolling at the bottom just to let everybody know. You can actually play games with RHETRI and a whole bunch of members of this community. Go to Discord, because they keep updating the link. It's like a week goes by and that link is dead and there's a new one. So, but search for Community Game Nights, and it's actually like a night.
I can put I can get the link in a second. It's I got a permanent link. I did fix that.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well there you go.
I was told those permanent.
Know how to do it? Okay, there we go. That's awesome.
Just give me a second now.
But welcome, Paris. We do appreciate you being here. And with that said, too, I also Doom. So and I don't think I missed this. I may have because I had to deal with my dog. But so if not Banjo, what character or older IP would you want brought back that you maybe enjoyed playing when you were younger?
She's like, none of them.
Well, maybe
I
so,
want
but
all new
I just
IPs.
ask. I'm just asking. Anything? Doomcutie, you there? She may have to step away.
Did we lose her? Oh wait, did she say be right back by any chance?
I didn't
Okay,
see it.
no. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we lost her.
And she may have had to step away. So that's all good. Real life happens. She'll be back, but or maybe she's avoiding the question altogether.
She's like, she's going through the list. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I would love Crash Bandicoot to come back because I like the game. I did not know it sold that much. That is surprising. I mean, if you think about what one OBM just said, that is the goal. Like 10 million. That's the goal that Xbox has said they want for Starfield. So on that count, like Crash Bandicoot seems like it probably should make an appearance coming back, as well as Banjo-Kazooie, just to make boom and people happy. But Crash would be great just for the salt to pour as well, because I want to see those Crash commercials that we used to have back in the day for Sony. I just want them to do it. Just one for Xbox, just to piss everybody off. Because that's how I am. But yeah.
Oh goodness.
There's just so many good IP here. Like I know Call of Duty doesn't move the needle for a lot of people. It does for me. I bought it with $70. Diablo paid that $70. That's $140 savings right there. That's just 2 games, right? So you got stuff like Pitfall. I want Prototype back. Singularity is another popular one that a lot of people talk about, possibly coming back. And StarCraft, which One Bad Mother mentioned. Yeah, that's a huge one. And Jez said it's coming back. He alluded to
that's the only reason I didn't.
So that's happening. Yeah. So under StarCraft 3 or whatever the heck they're gonna call it, Jez has pretty much feels like a confirmation. Said that it's at least being worked on from Blizzard. So
read that one from Galveston.
That makes a lot of people happy. Galveston, that's my buddy. I so would love the Skylanders series to make a return. So many Skylanders sitting in boxes. Yeah, that was a thing. A lot of people collected those. And I think
it's another good one there from Lore Master Jasper. Welcome, Jasper.
What's up, Jasper? Lore Master Jasper. Ukulele only sold a little over 1 million, so I think Banjo might be dead. The old Banjo team made Ukulele, and they still could not capitalize on that. Yeah, you might be onto something, but that was a Kickstarter thing, right?
Yeah,
so I don't know. They were looking for funding too, so
no marketing.
I don't know if that's the same. Yeah, marketing. Most people didn't know it existed outside of the Kickstarter. I think it was Kickstarter campaign. Again, one of those campaigns.
Don't underestimate the potential, the opportunity now that you have Activision marketing. I still wonder what Destiny would have been if Bungie never had Activision and their marketing arm and everything, pushing that back in the day. I just think they are different when they have a game that they really want to get out there. They just know how to talk to the mainstream. They know where to find them. They have all the data on that. So enough of that.
Oh, we do have some breaking news.
I did not see it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Wario, and you would be, because it has to do with Game Pass.
Yep.
Okay, something coming to Game Pass. Thank you, Wario.
Well, not necessarily something coming to Game Pass, but Game Pass is changing into. Let me. I know you're like, what?
Okay.
All right, let me get this thing fixed so I'm gonna put it up on the screen so we can talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
Boom.
100%.
And then let's see here. Present. Act like I'm a newbie at this. That's because I am. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Well, I'll let you read the top part and then I'll scroll up.
Sure. Xbox. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Please don't.
Exciting.
This better not. This better be real, Wario. Xbox Live will apparently transition to Xbox Game Pass Core on September 1st. Includes online multiplayer and various benefits. Same prices as XBLG. Existing XBLG subscribers will convert to Core. Includes 25 Game Pass titles. GWG offers will end. Step in the right direction. Finally. Oh
no
my
more
God,
gold.
We've been
No more-
begging for this for years.
No more
But-
gold announcements. No more
You
embarrassing.
see the levels there too?
Right.
It's kind of small.
It is a little tough. Core, is it $9.99 per month?
I think so.
And you can zoom in. Just go to the upper right hand corner and do the zoom on the Googles. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Let's see. It's
because you're sharing your web page, right? Are you sharing a web page or are you sharing?
I'm
something?
sharing the actual Twitter feed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it won't let me zoom in.
All right. Let me see.
But yeah, sorry.
No,
I bring the
good,
show
you're
to
good.
a screeching halt. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, man. Like that's good.
I tried to
news.
bring it
That's
up
great.
single, but it made it smaller.
Yeah.
So I thought that the initial thing said it was going to be the same price, but okay, $59.90. Okay, it is the same price. So you can still pay for the year with the core, so they won't get blasted for that. So the core pricing is going to be the same as the gold pricing. If you go month to month, it's $10, but you can still pay for the year at $60 per year, which is the same as it is today, right? So
yeah.
So that doesn't change. The only thing that changes is instead of the 2 gold games a month, which I mean, obviously that's been kind of a mess lately.
It's been doo-doo for a long time.
Yeah, you're going to go to 25 games. I imagine maybe it'll be something. Well, okay, the list, they already have the list. Can you guys read it already? You want to, or do you want me to read it?
Go for it if you can. I'll let you do
it.
it.
Go for it. One bad.
It's Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori, and Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 2, Elder Scrolls Online. So it's a decent list. I don't know if it's changing or anything though. They don't really.
Right.
Yeah,
free games.
you know, now
I
think I got excited over nothing. Now I'm looking into this more. I'm not sure it's exactly.
It's just, let me bring out something else. What's the date that they say this goes into effect?
September 1st.
Okay. So what else happens in August? Which is the people that are on the pilot program for the family plan.
Yeah.
They're
so
pulling it back because they are going to make a new announcement for the permanent family plan.
Good point, Dave.
Probably
that's actually
in September,
a really good point.
when Starfield comes out, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do. You want that family plan to boost your numbers big time. That's the time to announce it. I mean, we thought it was going to already happen, but it feels like they have to do it this year. Those games aren't bad. I mean, they're better than the normal very, very indie bad games that we get on gold. But
I mean, I like indie games, but they don't appeal to the vast majority. The vast majority of people who only are going to subscribe to gold are probably doing it for the multiplayer.
Yes.
And they're probably not getting value out of those indie games. I'm speaking in generalities, but I'm just making a very educated.
I mean, it is weird though, right? Because you have the core here at $9.99, and for $1 you can go like I just don't know why you would get the core anymore. I think it's a way to almost kill it, because $1 more gets you the console version for
Yeah, they're just probably the nicest way to kill Xbox Live and their free game attachments.
Like you kind of baby step it, right? Instead of just killing it altogether, because the community would get pissed off no matter what you do. So maybe this is just a way for them to butcher it slowly.
Go ahead.
Isn't gold right now? Because I know everybody. Again, it's been a while since I paid for only gold, but I think it's only was $60 a year if you paid for the full year. If you went monthly,
if you went
monthly, it was $10, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it's the same,
which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's the same price. That's why it's like, why wouldn't you just kind of go to the console version only? I guess I don't know. For me, Ultimate is where it's at, but I also play in multiple places. I do use the cloud a little bit for the reasons I stated earlier, but hey, maybe it's a step in the right direction. But time will tell. I think Dave might be onto something with the family plan, maybe launching sometime in September, maybe late August, September. I don't know, but let's hope it happens soon. Doom, are you back by any chance? Are you still? Is she still?
She still she did say be right back, so she did put that in.
Oh,
chat.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
So she has family there, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Post up about 20 minutes ago. He still we haven't heard from him directly, but he did post a tweet saying I had to pull over because he was laughing at some of the Sonys that were Sony ponies that were dropping some hilariously funny memes and comments that he's like, where are they getting this crap from? So and it's coping, and then what would they call it? Copium.
Copium. A little bit of
Yeah.
hopium mixed
Are
with
we gonna talk about the dystopia that apparently is going to be the industry now?
Sure.
Everyone merging or whatever. Well, I did want to bring up, I had you guys I'll just say it, Pixel Pit G, but Ultimate is the best deal. I missed it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, you're good. I get it. Still, this may drive people towards that. That's exactly my point, Pixel Pit. I think this feels like almost kind of forcing you to see the value that's right in front of your face for a little bit extra money. That at least that's what it feels like to me. A play, like a marketing play to get more people into Game Pass, which is a smart move. But I kind of did now. One Bad Mother, are you talking about like the consolidation, like that talk? Is that where you're going? Or
I've been just curious. I don't hate listen to other podcasts or anything. I'm not like that. I don't have time for that usually. But I was curious. I was really last night I actually thumbed through, or the last couple. Last night specifically, I thumbed through just a lot of different podcasts that I don't usually listen to, kind of hearing what the
I love you skirting around it. I know what you're trying to say. He's like,
I
heard some
PlayStation.
Maybe I'll listen to some PlayStation things.
I heard some interesting takes. So, man, and it's like it is very interesting. Now I will also say I don't think that some of those takes are just limited to people that are an extreme on one side or the other, but I definitely had a lot of thoughts while I was listening to them. So I was just saying if we're going to get into that, because definitely I think one of the interesting things about this is going to be the Game Pass angle, right? The Game Pass angle, also talking about the consolidation of why this stuff's happening. There's a lot of theories out there that I think are based on feelings, and not in very, very general very general correlations between other industries and things like that. So, so looking forward to kind of diving into that, just so I could answer all.
No, let's talk about it. Yeah, go ahead, man. Like, if you want to talk about the, consolidation is bad thing that's going on. Absolutely, jump into that. Like, I would like to hear your thoughts on that, 100%. And I think we got Post Up.
Yes, sir.
Just joined us as well.
Oh, Post Up's here.
Yes, sir. What's good, everyone?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. Just getting in the house. It's been a long day, but
yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure I joined and
thank you, sir.
Partake into the conversation of this celebratory event that's going on right now.
100%. Yeah.
It took some time to get over that mountaintop. I want to say there was a lot of discouragement going on. A lot of discouragement. Oh, yeah, the CMA is the Thanos of regulatory agency. You can't get past them. You can't get around them. The FTC gonna win and take it all. And here we are singing a different tune. Tune. I'm glad this process is almost over. They're gonna close, and we can move on to getting back to games and stuff like that.
100%. Well, let me ask you a quick rapid fire questions in that regard, because we were talking about the CMA earlier. Do you Post-Op personally think this is going to end in some fashion, whether it's on paper officially or not, in the next couple of days before the 18th deadline is up?
Yes, I think this possibly can be over all tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Sony is no longer impeding the progress of this deal. They have sort of bent the knee. The CMA, it was bending the knee, but they're trying to do it graciously. They don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
They don't want to feel like as though they gave in, or because throughout this whole process, the CMA has done some things that have never been done before in terms of their regulatory process. And every analyst that I've read in terms of looking at this was saying, look, this is unusual, especially when they had to turn around on the console SLC and do that whole turnaround. The articles I was reading, they was like, this has never been done. The CMA usually don't make these type of turnarounds. And now we're gonna move on to the cloud thing, and they're in a position where they're gonna have to do something that they're not accustomed to doing again. But if you look at the tribunal, the CAT tribunal, Justice what's his name, Marcus, I think his name Marcus, that's leading that. He stated, look, he specifically said, look, this is unusual. We will not do this the usual way because this is an unusual circumstance. We've never been here before, And if you look at the CMA, when the CMA was with the EU, they didn't handle large mergers. The EU did. The CMA handled small mergers. So this their first foray into something this huge anyway. A
little out of their depth, maybe.
And throughout this whole process, you can tell that they were definitely out of their depth. And now they're trying to end this in a way where they don't look weak, and they probably do it in a way where they make Microsoft say, "Oh yeah, we got the win, we got the W, we made Microsoft adhere to this and that." But either way it goes, it's gonna happen.
100%. Let me get this super chat real quick. Thank you for coming here and post up.
No
Dron
problem.
TJ, $20 super chat. The board looks at Phil Spencer and says, "Who's next? Buy a Sobo." I love you, Dron TJ. Buy a Sobo, Certain Affinity, CD Projekt Red, and Avalanche Studios. Good call out, an Avalanche, and IO Interactive, Focus Entertainment. That's one I want. Crystal Dynamics, another one I want, and Eidos, Crytek, and Paradox Interactive. Jesus, Dron. Another $5 super chat from Dron TJ. Get those small studios I mentioned and giant software for publishers. Get all of WB. It puts them in another market, and get Sega, then be done. Whew.
Wow.
That's a lot of acquisitions, Dron TJ. That feels like it could take a little while to get that long list done, but I like where you're going. I like the greedy gamers because it's good for you. Who cares if it's good for the corporations, right?
Thank you for the super chat, Dron TJ. We greatly appreciate that, man. Sir. So back to post up. We're gonna hit on you for just a few minutes because we really want to get some of your takes on some of this stuff. So, RHETRI, what? I know there was some more questions.
Yeah, I wanted to get Post Up's 2 cents. So now we know that Post Up thinks, and Foss has been this way too. And shout out to Foss, Post Up, just doing such a great job on the internet, keeping us informed.
Post Up has kept me entertained.
He has definitely kept me entertained as well.
I loved your tweets too. Thank you so much for that.
So we appreciate that because. I didn't have the patience and fortitude to keep. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah,
so, praise to you guys.
I've got that a lot. Why are you still talking about this? It's over.
Hey,
stop talking about this. I'm so
somebody's got to do it.
and that was the talk of the town right now.
My question to you is about ABK itself and any IPs. We were talking earlier to Doom and One Bad Mother. Is there anything for you, nostalgia-wise, or anything like that you're happy to get having ABK under Microsoft, or anything old that you want to see revitalized, old IPs, or anything that you want to see come back? That's what I'm curious about. And I got the list if you need any help, because this is a long one.
Yeah, it is. You know what? I never got a chance to play that prototype game.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I hear a lot of people talk about that a lot, and I seen some video footage of it, and it looked incredible for its time, and the ability that you had as a player, jumping across buildings and cities, your arms growing and stretching and stuff like that. So I think they have something right there, because I know the Xbox community has been fiending for some type of hero game. You know, ever since
speak my language. Yep.
Yeah, ever since Sony got Spider-Man and things like that, well, let's get Batman. Well, let's get this. Prototype looks like a character that can be a real fun and diverse character.
Right.
In terms of old IP, I'm looking at this not just from an ABK standpoint, but from an overall standpoint. Microsoft got access now to some incredible IP. Conquer, Banjo, Toys for Bob. A lot of people.
We've been told. Doomcutie's back. She's gonna smile, but we've been told that's for old folks. So
and Paris has a special. Paris has a chat for you. Read that chat for
Paris. Talk about Banjo. Talk about Banjo Kazooie. ABK is old news. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think he's teasing. He's
He is. He's teasing.
If you look at PlayStation and Nintendo, right?
Yes.
For Nintendo to be able to preserve and sustain the Mario IP for as long as they have and keep reinventing Mario, even with the movie that just put out, is incredible. And then for Sony to go back and say, "Look, I'm going to bring back Ratchet and Clank," right? And did it in a successful way. Maybe it was for some people, maybe it weren't. I beat it, but I thought I got led astray there. But it's cool. It was still it's still a
Did you have the latest and greatest SSD?
They tricked me with the SSD, you know, jumping through worlds. I thought I was gonna be able to do a little bit more controlling of that, you know, but but that's cool. So when I hear the head of Rare Studio saying they don't want to bring back Banjo and stuff like that, they don't believe I get really kind of disgruntled with that, because how you gonna tell us? You're literally saying you're thinking for us. You're thinking for the community.
Yeah, right.
And apply your perspective to a whole community that's telling you they want it. And I do think Microsoft have the ability, because I think they need a platform. I think they need a character, you know what I'm saying, to identify the box, you know, and they got a plethora of IP that they can choose from. Also, Microsoft has never put out an all-star game with all of their IP, the characters from their IPs in the fight games. I think they have an incredible attempt at doing that. I do want to see some.
Can I push back on that? Master Chief is literally engraved on the Xbox. What are you talking about? They don't have a hero. They don't have a character.
I'm not saying they don't have. We got the most beautiful Doomcutie. Okay. Let me say something, Doomcutie, because you kind of threw me off track.
On camera, mind you.
I know. I woke up.
I had to zoom into the screen for a minute. You feel me? No, but look, I'm not saying. Look, Master Chief is there. I'm talking about from a platform perspective. You know, that's all. That's all. I think they can. If Nintendo can do it for as long as they do it. If Sega's still running with Sonic, I was just hearing somebody having a conversation about the Sonic movie kind of invigorated their little nephew into wanting to play the Sonic game. Never knew what Sonic was until he saw the movie. And that movie made him want to play the game. I think if Sega can do it, Nintendo can do it, and Sony can do it, Microsoft can do it. You know, you talk about you want that family-friendly kind of perspective in your catalog. Well, then you have the IP and the characters to do it. And so, and then outside of that, I just want to see some cross-pollination. I want to see Master Chief show up in Call of Duty.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I'm saying? I think Microsoft just have a really strong opportunity to carry the wrestling RPG, which they have pretty much all of them. The first person shooter wrestling stuff, they pretty much have all of them now. And until you can kind of infuse some Japanese content in there, Sega, in a year or two, then you pretty much got it all. But maybe Guitar Hero can come back. I think the Taro
we did mention that earlier. That's a good one.
Yeah, you missed it. We spoke about that already.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Damn, Doom is coming out with a slander tonight.
Oh, you gonna do me like that?
She's like, you was late. We did that like an hour ago. I don't know if you were here or not.
No. You know what? You can praise it all day. Post up, totally.
I apologize for my problem.
No, you're good. You're
sorry,
good.
I'm sorry.
We like the
love you,
pit.
Pope. Thank you so much for being here.
You know, I had to carry for a good hour and a half here.
I apologize. I'm here.
No, you're cool. You're cool. Yeah, no, totally. I said this before, and I'll say it again for your sake. I said, rock doesn't age, so it's like, yeah, I think Guitar Hero coming back would be amazing.
I think it's a lane for it too, especially with the games as a service thing that's going on with the microtransactions.
Yes.
Fortnite and Roblox. That's all my kids want now. They don't want a bike. They don't want anything. They give me $100 in Roblox. Give me some Fortnite. That's it. That's it. That's all you want. Yeah, just give me some Roblox. Matter of fact, give me the subscription where they send me Roblox point every month. What? Let me say something. Back in the days, we wanted bikes, we wanted consoles, we wanted physical
we touch
things.
grass.
We touch grass. And the birthday come around, I just want Roblox. What?
All right.
What do you mean?
Hey, you want what you want. They know what they want. At least they know what they want. They're not keeping you guessing.
Exactly.
But, I kind of want to veer towards what one bad mother was talking about with consolidating the market. Is that why don't you kind of say your points on that, OBM? Because I'm curious to what you have to say on that, because there has been a lot of talk. I know Paris during ILP mentioned that he thinks this is it. Like, this should probably be it for Microsoft. I don't agree with that because I'm greedy, because it benefits me. But I think some people worry that Microsoft's getting too powerful. And I know you didn't say it. I said it for you. You might have been watching some PlayStation stuff. But what's your opinion on consolidation in general, and the points that you wanted to make earlier?
Yeah, well, like, one of the interesting things that when I'm listening to it, and again, I try to stay open-minded because that's usually the way you learn, right? If nothing else, even if your mind doesn't get changed, you understand where people are coming from and what their fears are. And a lot of what I've been kind of hearing about is, as the people that are the most skeptical or afraid of what this deal is going to mean for the industry, a lot of it has to do with how it's going to change things, right? It's about Microsoft's model of pushing towards this Game Pass, how it's going to make certain types of games that everybody has loved over the last few decades, how that's no longer going to be feasible within this, if they're able to kind of mainstream Game Pass and continue to consolidate the market. And like, one of the first things that jumped to my mind was I remember doing this thing when I used to write over at XboxEra. I did research one time on just looking at the big AAA publishers, like all the biggest ones. And if you looked at EA, Take-Two, ABK, Ubisoft, and you looked at the number of AAA single player brand new IPs that came out, and I was looking back about 5 years in this period of time, and there was the only games that came from those studios that fit that definition was when Activision published Sekiro, and then when Ubisoft came out with their what the heck was that game? The Immortals Phoenix Rising, which, by the way, flopped, right? And, it's
great game, and of course, I knew it's like you knew it was gonna flop. It was like, it's kind of like Zelda. Great, I love that game, but
a lot of people did, right? And this kind of goes back to one of the things, one of the interesting things about both this consolidation that's happening now, and looking at some of the things that we all love, we've heard before from even people like Shaun Layden how the AAA single player game, that industry, the way it exists, that traditional model, how it was unsustainable, right? Every year, every it just seems like they keep adding more and more time, more and more cost to those. They have to keep delivering bigger, and then they don't have. Then when you do it as like a opportunity cost, and you compare it to the gas stuff, it just doesn't make a fraction of that money, right? Like EA makes all their money off of their Apex and their sports games, and Take-Two makes money selling you GTA over and over and over again, and NBA 2K packs. And
don't tell me you didn't buy it.
He didn't say he wasn't guilty of it. He just said that's how they're making the money.
I mean, almost everybody in your chats probably plays like some gas games, right? And bought some skins and something, and is part of the problem in a way.
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah,
and that's
it's not a problem if it sparks joy. That's my
exactly
motto.
right. Exactly.
And I wouldn't say it's necessarily a problem in a vacuum, but the thing is, like, it does, when these big giant companies are looking at it, if you are a big publicly owned corporation, your job by law, your job is to make more and more money for your investors, more profits, right? It's never, if you flatline, if you reached your ceiling, you're in trouble, because nobody invests in a company to stay the same, right? They invest in you so that you can make them more money over the long term. So when you kind of look at that, and it's interesting, listening to people kind of panicking, and it's like, we're going to enter this dystopia. It's like, if you're worried about those types of games potentially not having an avenue because of consolidation, I would actually argue the opposite. I would say that you are almost in that dystopia today with those companies, with the big giant. Now, the good thing about the gaming industry, and this is the other part of the consolidation, is that it is expanding. It is more diverse than it's ever been. You look at the amount of companies in there today versus what there was 20 years ago when we were in the golden age of the original Xbox, GameCube, PlayStation. There wasn't. You get more games in a year now than you did an entire generation back then.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I've talked to independent developers when I was over at XboxEra, and I know John did as well. And if you talk to like independents, their concern isn't Game Pass. It's like, how do I even get through the noise? Like, how do I?
Right.
How do you stand out?
How do I stand out on Steam? And so I think the industry, like, when I look at what Microsoft is doing with this acquisition, I actually look at it potentially. It's an option to solve the problem for some. No market disruption is good for everybody. It depends on what you like. But I do think for, if you are out here saying, I want AAA, new IPs, I want new worlds, new characters, I don't want to just see just rehashes, I want to see new things. Like, I think that is probably the best thing to come out of this. Not because Activision Blizzard will make them. I think Activision Blizzard was bought for
little guys will.
But what they're going to do is kind of raise the tidal wave for all the other boats that are out there. And I think this could be the thing that could mainstream Game Pass. It could mainstream subscriptions or be a tipping point, not because I think everybody who's got a Sony PlayStation is going to switch to Xbox to go. They're not going to pay extra money for a console and then a subscription to play a single game. But what's going to happen is because of the mind share power the IP has, it's going to add a lot of credibility. And it's not going to be just Call of Duty. It's going to be Call of Duty, but leading all this other stuff. So when you start doing that, and you start to look at like the games that we even look at the last few months where we saw High End Life had 7 million players, right? Atomic Heart was a new IP, had 5 million players. That's, to me, like, thinking about that and thinking about what that could mean now, like, hey, Activision raises that wave, and now, the next new IP from a AA studio comes in, they get 10 million players, and the next time they can go AAA, right? And so that's the kind of stuff that I get excited about, really more than anything, because I don't care that much about saving money on Call of Duty that I may or may not buy, but I do care about this market disruption, because we are already in that point where the things that people think they're going to lose with this consolidation is already lost, and even what's there. I mean, you're seeing Sony's pivoting to gas now, right? So
yep.
This is, I think, a good change. It's not going to change the entire industry. I think it's going to add an option, and that option is actually probably where the kind of games that we grew up on, like when we experienced Mass Effect for the first time, or Gears for the first time, or any of those IPs for the first time. Like, I think this is going to kind of create a environment where that stuff can start to become that can happen again. And maybe as others enter this and try to compete with it, because it starts to make a lot of money, and maybe if it becomes mainstream, like I look at Netflix, right? They didn't have a lot of competitors for a long time. When they hit 200 million, everybody goes, well, there's money in it. Now Disney jumps in, everybody does. And so like maybe Ubisoft, that gives them an excuse to make Splinter Cells, and it gives EA an excuse to make new AAA IPs, so like that's kind of where I look at this from. And so the consolidation part, I think the other thing people don't realize, and this is the last thing I'll say on it, is that, like going back to what I said, when these companies kind of hit their ceiling, we know like Activision was struggling to figure out how to manage Call of Duty, right? Even Kotick said he got interviewed when this thing got rejected from the CMA, blocked from the CMA initially, and they said, hey, you're doing good now, your stock is up, why don't you just kind of like take your money and go home? And he said no. He wasn't as direct about it, but what he was insinuating is, no, we still need this, like we kind of need Microsoft because of where the future is. I think they see this is where they were the big players in the old paradigm, which is now kind of hit its ceiling. And I think that you're going to see others too. They're going to sell off, and whether EA sells off to Amazon. But the good thing is that it's going to you like seeing the stock prices go up for all this stuff. It just makes investors want to invest more, and you're going to see the next Take-Two, the next EA, the next big companies are going to come in there in their place. That's just the way industries work. And I just think a lot of people are too close to it, and they're just looking at everything like in this narrow thing, and they don't understand this is just like an evolution of the industry right now. So
and Bobby Kotick, when it does finish and complete, Bobby Kotick's shares that he personally has from working for the company, $400 million.
Yeah,
that's his nice little parachute. He can just say,
no one's a fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, we just get him out, but he's going to make his money no matter what you do. Yeah. So let's just get him out.
Yeah, you got to pull off that Band-Aid and get that a-hole right the hell out the door. Silent Cypher with a $2 super chat. RHETRI, touching grass is illegal in some states. That's right. Stay inside, folks. Do not exercise. Game. Doritos are the best. I just want to get Doomcutie's opinion on consolidation too, because I think One Bad Mother brings up some great points, and I'm just curious from Doomcutie and Post Up how you feel about consolidation too. I very much agree with One Bad Mother. We're seeing new studios pop up every other day. We're seeing guys who've been in the industry forever say, you know what, I can make more money doing it myself. Let's just start a new studio. It's happening all the time. So consolidation to me is kind of a joke. Like, I just don't. We've had more developers now than ever in history, to One Bad Mother's point. But what do you guys think? Like, what's your opinion? I'll start with you, Doom, on this whole consolidation thing. Is it a bad thing? Like, what's your viewpoint on that?
I think consolidation can be a bad thing in the sense of it does ruin competition. I do believe that. However, I do think that, I mean, for me personally as a gamer, I get a little bit overwhelmed by choice, or I get overwhelmed by trying to decipher the quality of games. So if things are coming from, if I know that all the games coming from Blizzard are going to be at the standard that I know that their main company is, then I'm going to be happy with that. If I know that the little indie company is under Microsoft's umbrella, I'm going to be happy. So it's I think it can be a good thing, but I think also it could because this is such a creative space, and Phil Spencer understands this. It does need room to breathe. Like, there does need to be that option of there are going to be different places that you do get your games from, and that's totally okay. It's totally allowed, and it should be allowed. So I can argue both points. We can either have reliability and quality, and that can be a reassurance to consumers, or we can say, hey, no, the market should be open. It's a creative space. I think it's important that everyone gets to tell their story in gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. Like, I shouldn't say blanketly, like, I don't think this is like, there's nothing wrong with consolidation in general. You're right. That's too vague. I just think, I personally, I think we're not quite there yet. I don't think we're in the danger zone yet. But one of our people, well, let me read this. Hargate Chani, GP Core is just a replacement for gold, same price. Oh, he's talking about the core stuff. Okay, but I did want to bring up like this point from Poison Maniac, who said, "Are we trying to find out where the line is?" If so, that's a better question in my opinion. And he's right. Like I don't necessarily know where that line is, but post up. What's your opinion about consolidation? What's happening with Microsoft? Are you okay with them purchasing more publishers or even devs in that regard to kind of feed the Game Pass monster? Well, what's your opinion about consolidation in general?
There is no line.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
I spoke about this like 2 or 3 years ago. We had a conversation about this. And that very same, I was on Next Gen 720 channel, and I was arguing with J-Dub and Porter Rock, and they was telling me about Sony in a traditional model, and they don't need to go cloud, and they don't need to do none of the things that's Microsoft, and all that has. Well, I didn't go get into that. I will say this is defense. This is defense. This reminds me of the comment that Phil made about PlayStation and Nintendo, PlayStation and Nintendo preserving the culture of the industry before outside entities come in and try to do what they're going to do. Right. And so to me, this was inevitable, right? From Microsoft perspective, even from Sony perspective, because now you got to carve, since the landscape of the industry has changed so much, you have to carve up as much content as you can, whether that's small developers or big ones, because Apple just let you know that they have a Proton-like environment on the new Mac OS that allows you to translate Windows games from DirectX 12 and have them running on the Mac. They're letting you know they're coming. They've been quiet. They've been quiet.
The quiet and they giant.
And let me tell you something. They have that bag to compete with Microsoft. In terms of purchasing power, right? You got Amazon that's been quiet, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We don't know what they're gonna do yet, right? You even had Verizon at one point talking about a streaming service. Look how many phones and customers that they already have access to, that they can push a service like that to on demand and have it in front of their fingertips instantly, right? And they have this the infrastructure to back it up. Even Walmart a year or so ago was talking about doing a streaming service. So I think this is defensive. I think Microsoft and Sony, even Nintendo, is going to carve out as much quality content as they can, and for the outside entities that come in and don't really care about the community itself, since this is the biggest entertainment piece in the industry right now that just want to benefit off of it, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo go make it hard for them to do so. And so this is how I look at it. I look at this from a whole different perspective. I just look at this Microsoft as Microsoft. Look, we're gonna get what we can right now, because we know there's some outside entities are coming, and they want a piece of this industry, and they don't care about the community. They don't do none of that. They just want to make what they can make off this industry. And before they do that, and before they make their move, we're gonna make sure we tie up as much content as we can to feed the Game Pass machine and make sure we get a good enough lead in terms of content, quality content, and subscribers before they come in and do what they need to do. We need a lead, and that lead is not only on them, that lead is on PlayStation 2, who is behind right now in terms of that transition. Games as a service, cloud, even though in some respects they got there before, they got to cloud before Microsoft, before Stadia.
They did.
Right? Nintendo hasn't made a strong move on cloud yet. So we're going to get there before all of them. We're going to make sure our subscribers and our subscription numbers are strong before all of them make their move, whether it's Sony, Nintendo, or any outside entities come in. That way, when they do, and this transition we have enough comfortable lead to ward off anything that's trying to, come in on our territory and take a piece of our pie. That's how I look at this consolidation thing.
No,
that's how I look
you're
at
totally
it.
right. For sure. Like they're definitely playing catch up in the sense of, they lost a generation, they really put them behind with the, Red Ring of Death. And yeah, like they are trying to play catch up. They are trying to secure their spot because I'm with you, Post-op, and I can see that there are going to be some bigger players with just big bags behind them that may come in and say, hey, we want a piece of this. It's going to be in the trillions of dollars very soon.
And to your point, dude, like Juz even mentioned that Apple was working on a console.
Oh yeah,
and we've heard Amazon.
That's
I can't wait to see the first Apple. I can't wait to see the next Apple gaming.
I would not put it past them that they are low key.
This is no longer a toy industry. Like, see, the thing is, like when people look back on this industry and like they're thinking about, like they're worried about this consolidation now. This was a small industry back when it was a Nintendo versus Sega. It was basically a toy companies going against each other for very young men. It is now expanded to be a worldwide thing that includes everybody, and it's only going to get a lot bigger because it's so big now, because it's bigger than all this other entertainment stuff. You're going to enter into big companies because that that's a sign of actually health. Usually when an industry is growing,
you're right.
That's when you're getting all that investment, right? So the big companies are going to come in there, and who knows? I mean, maybe Apple buys Sony or Amazon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've heard that.
We don't.
You don't know where this industry is going to go. Microsoft is. When they talk about building them, I think that was taken out of context a little bit. But I think when they're talking about building a moat, they're building a spot for themselves.
Yeah.
As the industry grows, they're going to continue to grow with.
Yeah, they're digging that moat around. They're digging that around their fort. Like they're making sure that they are as untouchable as possible when this comes, because this might have been a big wave, but there's a tsunami coming. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's and we have to be ready.
And I don't, for me, I don't necessarily have a problem with the big guys getting involved. What I have a problem with is a piece of hardware. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a fourth, I got PC, I got Xbox, I got PlayStation, there's a lot of Nintendo guys. Like, come on, guys. Like, it's too much hardware for me. Like, it's going to split too many people across.
Apple, though, when Apple do something.
I know.
You know what?
Me and you have talked about Apple 100%.
Is the market ready for a fourth console?
I have an Apple phone right here.
All right,
I'm a shill. Go ahead.
Doom.
Let me just say this. So, okay, Mac PCs are just the screens, right? They don't have a separate box. They're just the computer's inside the monitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of like Xbox being in a TV?
I knew you were going there.
So they already have yes. So they already have the potential, to do this. Secondly, iPhone. I don't know how many iPhones sell a minute, but I can tell you right now, they're not going to bring out a new handheld. They'll just put it on the next iPhone. There'll be a gaming iPhone.
Yep.
They already have this in production already. So it's a big possibility, and honestly, I've just been waiting for it. And you know what? I'm gonna give it a go if it does come out, but I don't know.
Okay, now I see the angle. So you're pro. All right.
No, because you know what? Okay, I'll tell you a story. It's story time. Back in the day, I didn't. I think I was like 18.
Everybody circle around the Snapchat. She's about to tell us a good story. Go ahead.
I think I was 18. Yeah. And I was a slave to Apple. I was a slave.
I was too.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who. Yeah, who wasn't or who hasn't been for a time. And I had a MacBook Pro. I loved that computer. I have a MacBook Air still, but that's like through my work. But I had a MacBook Pro, loved it. Now, at the time, I was not aware of gaming setups, or like it just wasn't a thing. Like, gaming rigs like they look like today, like the computers that I knew about were basically Frankenstein machines in like garages where it was like dusty. Like that was my first gaming console. I used to play Doom on a floppy disk. Like that was the jam.
Remember those days.
Yeah, so then I reached the point of being able to afford things myself, and I was at uni at the time and all that kind of stuff, and I had a MacBook Pro. I played World of Warcraft on a MacBook Pro. Now playing a massive MMO on a MacBook Pro, like to me now, like I would, if I could go back and slap myself, I would. So I understand the error of my ways. But what I'm saying is it can be done, and it will be done eventually. There will be people out there. There will be a gaming MacBook. There will be a gaming Mac or iMac, I think they're called. And it'll be iGame, and everyone will want a piece, including everyone here. Just saying, they're going to bring out something amazing, and it's going to be epic.
Oh, you come on in, the water's fine.
If their VR pricing's any indication, I'm scared.
I mean, that gaming subscription service is killing it.
It's killing it. It destroys everybody else.
It's
I'll just everybody.
I need to redeem myself. I do have an Android phone. I don't have an iPhone anymore. So just so you know, I've realized the errors of my ways.
Just come on.
For reasons.
Just come on.
But it's gonna happen. They've got the infrastructure for it. It's saying Apple Arcade is over 100 million subscribers. There you go.
Yep.
It's coming.
Can't
Pretty
hard
super
to beat
chats
that.
real quick.
Yeah, Animatic Dreams, $2 super chat. What's up, brother? Apple is trash. I hope they don't make a console.
I don't think they'll make one.
I don't think they're trash, but I don't want a console either. Hargy Chani, $5 super chat. So when Apple gets into this, if they release a console, do you think they'd release games for Mac/Apple console only, or do they put them on Windows too? That's a great question. I think usually traditionally Apple would close off that garden and say F you, but I think if they're smart like Microsoft and they want that money, then I think it goes on Windows too, or at least that's my hope. What do you guys think? It is Apple, so go for it. Anybody?
With Apple, with me, I think what makes Apple strong in terms of their ecosystem is their continuity.
Yeah.
In terms of their continuity features, starting some one
everything
device,
feels connected.
Everything is all connected, and I think whatever console, whatever piece of hardware they come out will embody that. But in terms of gaming, though, I think they're going to go for a big publisher. I think they're going to go for a big publisher.
That's what I'm worried
about. A Sony, a Take-Two, or they're going to go big because they're going to need quality content in devs to kind of strengthen whatever they're working on. And I think the virtuality thing they got coming out next year is a bad product of letting you know where they're going. But I don't know, gaming wise, I don't know if it'd be smart for them to kind of wall the industry off and try to force people, because Apple is not known for gaming. It never.
No.
And the one
it's
thing
so weird to say that the guys who are destroying everyone in subscriptions from gaming aren't known for gaming, but you're right. But you're right.
They're gonna have to get over that hurdle because I know they're gonna go with more than like it's gonna be some new version of the M3, M4 chip, whatever it's gonna be, and they're gonna have to convince the gaming community, who for decades and years know their system for just being audio video. Like I do my audio engineering on my Mac. Crazy. Pro Tools, everything, but
they'll probably think of their own innovative approach. I mean,
that's what I was.
We talked about stuff earlier, like how the industry, like we can't even predict how companies are going to figure out the hardware to kind of meet the gamers. Like, what if the next what if Apple comes out with an iPad that does what the Switch does, right? Like that does that it doubles over as it goes iPad to
that'd be
gaming
crazy.
console. Like
I'm just imagining what the controller looks like.
That's
how,
right. Like
how
Doom said earlier
talked
about the controller, like just coming with this stuff. Like it just makes sense.
Yeah, an iPad with a controller with a subscription to Apple Arcade. Like, hello. It's a no-brainer.
Not that hard. It's not that hard to do. I mean, didn't they have an Apple TV? I haven't been a user of Apple TV, but wasn't their remote a controller for the game? Right. Yeah. So I mean, like they've already kind of done something like that. They took a baby step there. So next,
I have the new.
But if you
like a full blown,
if you guys are wanting, like 4K, AAA, quadruple A, like games, like they'll probably have to be some sort of hardware shift for that to happen.
So they allow you to sync a PlayStation or Xbox controller to your Apple TV.
Yes.
And then go into that subscription and play everything from the TV. True. You also can use the controller that come with it as a remote to play the games as well.
Yeah.
I love my Apple TV.
That's what I was talking about.
I love my Apple. It is incredible.
People do love it. Yeah, that's true. Enigmatic Dreams, $2 super chat. Apple is trash, worth $4. Worth the $4. So we know we're.
No, people are going to be very protective. We've got PC Master Race people, we've got console guys who are like, "Well, hang on, like what the hell?" Thinking that they're coming in, but you know what? They've got a lot of money, and you know what? They're really creative.
Well,
they've got that. What's that? VR thing they've got coming out.
The AR thing. Yeah, the AR VR.
$3,500
for $3,500. You can get yours tomorrow. You're rich.
They're only releasing a certain amount, but
right.
But this.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
you're taking a breath and then I jumped in. There must be the lag.
Must be. I'm all the way in Australia. Sorry.
The Australia-US lag. No,
Apple Vision.
My internet lag. No, what I was going to say though, like who would have thought when Netflix was coming up and they were doing their thing, who would have thought that someday Apple would be one of those doing a Netflix type of service, right?
Yeah, right.
And there was
very true.
There was a study done, and it was actually very, very extensive. A few years back, where they interviewed people like hundreds of like tens of thousands, or I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people across gamers across all these different countries, and they said, hey, like, would if you already have a subscription, would you consider another one? And like the vast majority of them said
I know, and it blows my mind still.
And the gist of it is like when you think about like where the industry is going, and it's going into a place where this gaming, the reason why the industry is blowing up and becoming like everybody wants to jump in is they know it's going to get more and more accessible. You make a game, you're going to be able to sell it to a lot more. You're going to be able to reach a lot more people. Yeah. And I think that as like that falls, like the kind of the walls around it, I think it's just going to, and if Microsoft can mainstream Game Pass, there will be a lot of copycats. And the reason is it's not a zero-sum game. Like it's not like there can only be one massive subscription. You cannot have all the content. And we see like today, if you're a Netflix subscriber, you're still likely to have one of the other subscriptions. Right?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
When this market is about to be made, these new markets, there will be more big companies that will jump in. So expect Amazon to have it or Apple to have one too.
These microtransactions are the way of the future. It's in everything. It is at your gym. It is on your television. It is in gaming. It is everywhere. This is how you make money now. And this is just how it is. And if you don't have multiple incomes of those small microtransactions, you're not making money the way that people who are very rich do now. And it's as simple as that. You need to be across everything and getting little bits from everywhere. And this is how people are making their money. And it's just, it's mind-blowing because gaming, we've been around in gaming since, I bought a hardware, I bought a game. I can play that forever now. But now it's like, no, sorry, we had licensing in it. you can't play it anymore. Oh no, hang on. This game, it's only digital and you have to pay a monthly subscription to keep paying for it. So we've moved from a one-time purchase to monthly purchases, and it's just it's the way it's going and everyone's doing it, and we just have to get used to it, unfortunately.
Agreed.
Mic drop.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to cut you off again. I'm waiting.
I was coughing because the water went down the road pipe.
I try not to be as rude as I
didn't want to be rude.
Well, you know, this is probably a good time to start wrapping things up. How's that with the mic drop?
Sure.
Excellent. Guys, I got to say, we right now we have over 190 people in the chat, and what an amazing group of content creators that we have as our panel members tonight. And I thank each and every one of you for being here, man. And me and RHETRI are so appreciative of you guys and your opinions. Oh my gosh, I feel like we all are better for listening to what you guys have to say, because in this community, it's so great. And the people in chat too, I mean, Hargeet and Keasante and just so many amazing Paris, you know, so many amazing content providers that come in and support each other. And thanks everybody. I really appreciate this. I'll get off my soapbox, but I want to give some outros, and we're going to start off with a Doomcutie.
It was a very good time. Sorry, I was slow to warm up this morning, but the podcast started at 7 a.m. and I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was actually closer to 9. I got my times mixed up, but it's okay. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. You gave me like a good 10 minutes to talk you guys' ear off about Confessions of a Gaming Girl podcast. It's live every Friday evening, 11 p.m. Pacific time. And great panel. Love you guys here. And chat's awesome. Had some great people in, and what a great time to be a gamer.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And we did drop the link in the chat as well as it's in the description below.
Much.
Oh man, it's definitely something that everybody needs to check out. Even I mean, and if you're to convince you, watch the very first interview with Alana Pierce, who is incredibly hard to get as a guest. I'll tell you that, because I haven't been able to get her as a guest myself.
I know, so many people.
Exactly, but you know what? You deserve that. Then and I mean that, because and she loved it. She fit right in. She was like one of the girls. It was awesome. I loved it. It's a great show. It's definitely a must watch episode, so don't miss it. Do yourself a favor. Oh goodness. And let's get to One Bad Mother, who's getting ready to go on vacation.
No, not vacation. I got to go out of town for work.
Okay.
Yeah. So that first of all, Dave, thank you for the invite. It was an awesome time here, awesome panel. I'm glad I was able to talk some of this ABK stuff before. I'm not going to be able to get on any podcast for about a couple weeks. So I appreciate the opportunity. And Doomcutie, thank you for letting me cut you off.
Apologies.
It's the American. If you watch back, of the one with Alana Pierce, she actually said to me, she's like, "Oh, sorry, we were cutting each other off," and I'm like, "No, I don't know. It's like the timing of the streaming."
Yeah, it's the lag in our things there. But
sorry.
But I do want to say in Doomcutie, thanks for sharing your show, and best of luck with that. I think we need that, right? We need that in the community. It's a very diverse community, so it's great to to elevate that as well. So I wish you luck in that aspect of it. I know you do really well. But if anybody is looking to find me, I was a senior editor over at XboxEra. I took a break from that. I'm going to actually try a solo act here, probably at the end of the summer. I'm still friends with those guys, root for those guys. I just want to try something a little bit on my own, maybe let my hair down a little bit. So I will let you guys know when that's out. You can follow me on Twitter in the meantime, and I will let you know when I start to put some videos out there. The handle's Mutha _1, MUTHA_ONE. And again, this was a lot of fun today. So thanks for having me.
It was great having you. Sorry, keeping my buttons. It was awesome having you on. And when you get your new show up and running and you're ready to come back and promote it, send me a message and we'll have you on as a guest so you can talk all about it, and we'll talk gaming and get everybody going to your channel and get you built up, man. Because like I said, you're always welcome here. All of you are always welcome here. And then the one and only Post Up, the man and don't worry about being a little behind. We're gracious that you were here, and we mean that.
I'll never forgive you.
I don't want that smoke with Doomcutie.
You're gonna have to make it up to her, Post Up.
Look, I don't want no smoke, but I do want to apologize for my promptness again.
Post Up the diva hashtag.
No. But I do want to thank One Bad Mother and Doomcutie for holding it down while I was weaving through traffic. I wasn't even in Chicago when WebDave sent me the link, and I text him. I say, I'm on my way back into the city. And then as I get back into the city, my mom called and I had to take her to it's
family
dominoes get the phone.
The mom excuse and the traffic excuse.
Lord. See, Lord, I'm just gonna do my one thing and I'm gonna be up out of here because I don't want no smoke with.
I'm kidding. I'm roasting you.
I know. Right. Thank you all for having me. I really appreciate it. Great panel. And great topics, great subjects, and great conversation. You can catch me on Twitter at postup_SOG, or you can catch me on YouTube at State of Gaming. We go live every Saturday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I just want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all it was going to happen. I told y'all. They doubted me from the beginning, Webb. They said I didn't know what I was talking about. I was called everything but a child of God. Armchair lawyer, Twitter lawyer, TikTok lawyer. They called me everything. No, thanks for having me.
I love it. And you're always welcome too, man. Just so you know. RHETRI, buddy, tell everybody where they can meet up with you online and talk with you. And plus, your channel, you just reached the 500 mark, which congratulations, which means you can start. I know you got a show idea coming around that you're going to be doing.
I do. There's some stuff going on in this head that I might be able to do. I might not. I always, I sometimes shoot too high. But yeah, you guys can find me Game Pass _daily on Twitter and Game Pass Daily on the YouTubes, which I will put in the chat right there. There you go. I just want to thank Doomcutie, One Bad Mother, and Post Up tonight. This is a fun show, man. Like I enjoy talking gaming. I enjoy different opinions. I love when people disagree with me because we're not, I don't want this to be an echo chamber. This should not be an echo chamber ever. So I'm all about the different opinions. So thank you guys. You guys had some great points tonight, and chat was just killing it. Thank you for Silent Cypher and everyone, Drawn TJ with all the super chats and everyone else, of course, as well. Thank you. We've been growing this channel. It's been a blast. Xbox community is the best community. I'm going to leave it there. And shout out to Larry Herb for 20 years of service, by the way, aka Major Nelson for holding it down for so long. I want to make sure we said something about him before we leave. So good luck on your next endeavor. I know he's going to stick around doing some other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
He is amazing.
Yeah.
Got to meet him at an E3 once, and it was a quick, hey, how you doing kind of thing, but it was still memory I'll have forever. So there you go.
Yeah,
gosh,
awesome.
Thanks again for everybody in the chat, everybody that showed up, all this amazing panel. I know that we have one guest confirmed for next week, which is John Wolf, and then we have more we're working on, and we'll try and work that out. So we'll get that built up, but it should be another good show with all the things that are going to be happening this week. Holy snakes! Yes. Oh my goodness! And also the episode that we shot yesterday, which was the members only episode. So how that works is you shoot an episode and it's just for the members to come in the chat and stuff, and then like 3 days later we drop it for everybody to view. I made a mistake, but it was pretty funny. And
we both made a mistake. This isn't just on you,
which I mean, it's coming up. But I actually we streamed it to RHETRI's Twitter account, which was fine. No, no big deal. It happens. We're learning. And but he did have over 6,000 views. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So that episode will drop Tuesday with King David and Silent Cypher. So gosh, it's pretty exciting. And of course I have a new episode of Gamers Council dropping tomorrow as well, and that one is Lady Firefox. There you go. So that one will be tomorrow. I'm excited for that one. But anyway, thank you all for joining us here at Gamers Council.
Game over.